Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. This is episode 370. In this episode, we're going to give our WrestleMania predictions. Predict the final standings for the East and West, along with the play-in tournament, and rank our top 10 wide receivers in football. Fellas, how we doing?
Doing pretty great. Today is my brother's and my sister-in-law's baby shower. So that's going to be great. Of course, we get to celebrate.
I didn't get invited.
Live coming in. No, unfortunately, it didn't. Man. Pain
indeed.
I didn't get invited to the wedding. If it makes you feel better.
This was Charles's makeup to all of the guys that he couldn't invite to the wedding. He's like, yo.
So I didn't even make it to that part.
Dude, right.
No, you didn't even get part of the makeup invite.
I didn't get the makeup part. Yo, when you see Charles today, what I want you to do is tell him that River Brown has a gift for him. It's to never speak to me again in public.
All right, I'll make sure to do that.
Make sure
I'll make sure to do that.
Bar for bar. Just like
It's funny because I asked, I was like, yo, can I invite the guys? And he's like, I want you to know that I've been thinking about this all week long, and I've tried everything I can to get you guys.
Oh, it's not a him thing.
No.
Take all that back.
Yeah,
We're good.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it at a venue?
It is. It's in the Elks in Hackensack.
Oh, right down the
Yeah,
by
and
Anderson.
on Anderson. Yeah.
Should crash it.
I mean, who would say no?
Nobody would.
No one.
Okay.
No one. Yeah, I think it's like 150 heads pulling up.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, no, hella heads. All for a baby. Shout out. Shout out Neff.
Before we get started into the episode,
No.
Okay.
Prize Picks is sponsoring this episode. You can use code PAS for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, the playoffs are coming up soon.
They are.
It's going to be a lot of fun if you want to join in on the app and make some plays. Prize Picks always has some exceptional offers. And in the playoffs is when I'm making my comeback.
Okay.
I haven't touched the Prize Picks app in about a month. Mm-hmm. I'm making my comeback for the playoffs and hopefully going on a legendary run. You know, I'm the type of guy that I'm missing the regular season, but then in the playoffs, like LeBron James, I'm going to be ready.
Listen, I love that the LeBron comparison.
You're Jimmy Butler.
That's another great comparison.
Kawhi.
Yes. I'm in that
Well,
bracket.
Kawhi is not going to go crazy in the playoffs anymore. So
That's what we've been told.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh my God.
Who knows?
Corner silence. Never seen that in my life.
I mean, who knows? I can't predict the future. I mean, do we know for sure? We don't know for certain.
I'm willing to bet my life.
At least one.
I don't know.
I'd bet my life on it.
That Kawhi goes nut?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too, actually.
That's one of the few things in NBA I'd bet my life on.
I can also make the argument to maybe do that for Luka too, don't you think?
I never ever said he would.
I never said
show
you
up.
did. I'm just
All right.
putting
Just
that
in
the
general, like
conversation.
Luka would be like, no doubt about it, he's going to tweak in the playoffs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think
I'd
so.
also put my life on that too.
I would do that too.
You know what else I
Except
put?
against the Warriors.
You know what else I put? You know, not my life on, but I put a large sum of money on it. I think we did that. That the Mavericks would have missed the playoffs again for the second straight year. And right now, they're the 6th seed, just beat the Warriors without.
They're actually
Luka?
the 5th seed. They're the 5th seed because
5th seed. You're all right.
they are right now 6 games behind first place. Phoenix is number 6, 7 games behind. New Orleans fell down to number 7. Just lost Zion. Just lost to the
Tough
Spurs
loss last night.
Yeah, that was tough. Herb Jones had to take the last shot, and he's been playing well, but that's when you know they are a little banged up. And then you have Sacramento and LA tied for games behind.
Spurs
but
got a couple nice
Sacramento
wins down the stretch, man.
Sure.
Hey,
They did.
I don't know. Everyone was pretty torn on our video with Spurs if they should get a veteran or not, but you're winning games against the Knicks. I know it was no Zion winning games against the Pels. Victor next season, we were on.
They
Me
beat
and
the
Riv were
Nuggets
on. They did beat the Nuggets. We were on All American Hooper podcast. Shout out to them. They did a Would You Rather Wemby at the end of next season, and I think at the end of next season, Wemby could be better than Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Riv looked at me crazy, but that tells you Wemby is ready to go now. He could be borderline top 10 next
all right,
season.
listen, I'm not even going to.
I think I looked at you
Keep
crazy because
pushing
you
it, though.
said, well, because it was something you picked after. You picked somebody in front of him, and I was just
Did you
like,
take Devin Booker or Wemby?
Who did I take?
I don't remember. That was the
I don't
thing.
remember
It
who I
was
took.
Because if you're going to go that far,
I took him over
go that
Jaylen
extra
Brown,
mile.
though.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, it
Took him
definitely
over
wasn't.
JB.
Go that extra mile.
Wasn't
If he's
Took him
going to
over
be better
D-Mitch.
than Donovan, then you have to say, okay,
The only one I did not
than
think he
Debo.
said SGA said no.
No,
Yeah.
that's a bit much.
I don't remember who. It was some. I don't remember who else.
Somebody
Can he be
else.
better
He
than
said
AD?
He said next 3 years Wemby or Tatum. I said Tatum. I don't give a shit.
You're lying. Respectfully, you know, I fuck with
He's
Tatum.
not even going to be the best player in 3 years in the East. Because, you know, the Timberwolves is moving to the East.
That was weird to me.
Does everybody understand why it's going to happen? Because I feel like people are very.
They're closer to Chicago and Milwaukee and stuff, and
Exactly.
the travel for them is very, very hard.
So what team from the East is going to go to the West?
It'll be one team because if they expand, I think the two teams that are getting an NBA team, Seattle and Las
so they're
Vegas.
just moving probably Memphis and Minnesota to
That's
East.
the argument. The argument is there are three teams kind of in the center of the United States.
Dehls
That's
too.
the Timberwolves. They're up north more, and then you have the Grizzlies, and then you have the Pelicans.
Dehls are closer to Atlanta.
The Pelicans are close to that, the
probably
South
like the
and
Florida.
Florida.
Very
No.
sneaky. You move Minnesota over to the East. East gets better in a way.
Oh,
That's
for
huge.
sure.
That's
Grizzlies
You
huge.
should move Minnesota and Memphis to me personally.
Honestly,
only
all
move
three
one.
of those teams, the
I
East
thought
gets
we
better.
were getting 2 teams.
No, you move one team because
I thought we were
right
getting
now
two
there's
team
15
expansion.
teams in each conference. If you move the Timberwolves to the East, now
16,
there's
then there's
16 and 14,
I
so you
thought,
need
I
two.
thought we were getting 2. I thought we were
No,
getting
it's more.
Seattle and Vegas.
So it'll be between the Timberwolves, the Grizzlies, and the Pelicans.
Minnesota makes more
The
sense.
Timberwolves are closer to the Bulls and Bucks in that Central Division in the East, and that's why people have predicted that the Timberwolves would be the one to move to the East.
With all that being said, he's talking better than Tatum.
Yes, he is.
Oh, no.
In
Is
3
He's going to be
years,
better than
that's-
Giannis?
Come on.
3 years?
Yeah.
Who?
Anthony Edwards is going to be the best
Anthony
part
When do you
of
think
the
he's
East
going to win a playoff series this year?
this year.
Okay,
Of
hope
course
so.
it's gonna happen.
Hope so.
Well, why are you choking up, Riz?
Listen,
Because
listen. You know I fuck with Ant.
Just wondering.
That
I'm
brother's
just
got to
wondering.
work on his jumper.
Oh no, yeah, he has to be more consistent on the mid range.
I love
feel
Ant-Man.
that.
He's such a dog. He's
Feel
such a
that.
dog.
I also will say this: we're not going to have like a full blown Timberwolves topic on this podcast, but the way the Timberwolves offense is not conducive to high offensive output. The spacing is very clunky on that team.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, you have Rudy Gobert,
Offense
you have
has been
Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
you have,
It's been ass.
You know, Jaden McDaniels not a non-shooter, but you don't
Need
have
some more playmakers also.
You don't respect them.
That's been a thing though.
you don't respect it enough to hard close out every time you know Ant's driving.
And I do think that it's crazy how, as time goes on, they just draw more similarities to the Utah Jazz, because the Jazz, when Donovan was a rookie, they were built on defense and their spacing was clunky. When you had Gobert, Ricky Rubio, Jay Crowder, and I forgot who else started. I think it might have been Joe Ingles. Like their spacing was a
Might
bit
have
more
been Royce.
clunky. It might have been Royce. Yeah, you're right. But as time moved on, they got more offensive pieces like Conley and Bogdanovich to kind of spread the floor. So I'm interested to see what the Timberwolves' next move is, because I think you have an elite level defense, but you need to surround Anthony Edwards.
You have
with
one
spacing.
elite shooter in Cat. Anthony Edwards and Jaden, they're both super young. They can become better three-point shooters. They probably won't be elite. Mike Conley, he's a solid three-point shooter too. But I think if they could get leaps from Ant-Man and McDaniels, I think they're fine.
Having 2 games in the last month or so, month or so, accurate, under 90 points is fucking nasty.
I mean, yeah, not
That's their
having Cat's
brand of
been hurting.
basketball. That's how they're going to win playoff games. I think the Timberwolves in the playoffs, there might be maybe like
One of those
2
games was
games
with
that
Cat
goes over
though, no?
100.
That Clippers game was with Cat?
That I
Yes.
believe, yeah, it was.
So just one game without.
But Jesus Christ, how do you have Anthony Edwards? Karl-Anthony Towns, I get it, has been injured recently, but and you really can't just produce consistent offense. That's really tough. But you know what? I feel like I can't say that too strongly, because we have seen other teams with great offensive production. I think the one that comes to mind is the Phoenix Suns, although they've been trying to figure it out relatively recently. But you have 2 of the top 5 scorers in the league, and you're not a consistent top 10 offense. So like I get that at the end of the day, because it is a team. It is a game where you need your stars, you need your role players to also play at a high level.
Taking a quick break in the action to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, Magic Mind. Magic Mind has helped all of us solve a problem that I feel like has been reoccurring amongst this content creator journey. That's procrastination. Discipline is everything in this space, and I feel like Magic Mind has helped all of us collectively.
Yeah, Magic Mind has been a blessing to us. I mean, we try to record 3 times a week. And what do we do to make sure that we get that out there? We take our Magic Mind so we can lock in.
And I've been able to drink this so well because it doesn't have a lot of caffeine in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been taking this. We record usually around 6 o'clock. I'm working 9 to 5. I'm tired after. I take this around 5:36. I'm able to sleep like a baby after.
Magic Mind has been sending this to us for about a couple months now, and we have seen real
3
benefits from it. It has vitamin C, 100% vitamin C in it. You guys can go to www.magicmind.com/pickside. Not pick a side, it's /pickside. You can use the description in our bio below, or go to magicmind.com and use code PICKASIDE. So our code is PICKASIDE, our link is PICKSIDE.
Okay.
Okay.
It's so comparative.
Magic Mind in there? No.
Oh,
There
dude,
is.
of course.
Oh, I know. Where's mine? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you want a Magic Mind?
Dude, I would love one. Shout out to Magic Mind.
Shout out to Magic Mind. What I was gonna say is it's all comparative because if you look at the offensive rating the Wolves have right now, like it's average compared to the league, but it'd be in the best in the 2010s and the 2000s.
Oh no,
one of the
I mean,
best in the league.
Yeah,
I know.
the whole league would be.
I was gonna say, aren't the Hornets one of those two? Like they still would be in that
That's the stat. Like
conversation.
the worst team now, offensive rating wise, is a better offense than
That's wild.
previous eras. Yes, it is. We've just evolved so much. There are some current events that have happened. J. Cole dissed back Kendrick Lamar.
I heard the song. I didn't love it, and I feel like people are going too for bat for J. Cole. I say that where they love J. Cole and they want him to be part of this rap history, which is fine. He is a part of the big three, but why are you sending a warning shot when Kendrick kind of made it clear, you're not in this conversation with me. I'm by myself. And honestly, he dissed more so Drake than he did you. And the only line that people took from it dissing you was kind of just saying, like, he's brushing you off. He's not even thinking about you. So, like, a warning shot as a response to me, that's an L.
With J. Cole, I think his catalog is very overrated. I think
You're gonna get a lot of comments.
I don't know if I've listened
His
to a single
early
J. Cole
stuff-
album from
Yo,
start-
y'all don't know
front
shit
to
about
end.
music. J. Cole really be talking to
No,
Nerf's
no.
better.
His
Herb
early
better.
his early stuff, Too Deep for the intro,
Friday
the warm
Night
up,
Lights,
Born Sinners, Forest Hill Drive was
sure.
his best album, his best body
I
of
love
work.
Forest Hill
I don't
Drive.
disagree.
That's his best 4 projects. For Your Eyes Only was good, but that was kind of the beginning of him going into a different lane. He then made KOD. I thought KOD was mid.
No, it was mid.
And then after that, what did he make?
The offseason, good music. The offseason was
Solid.
good music.
It was solid.
Why has Brandon lately been like falling off the off season? Like it's been him like
fall off?
not taking it seriously.
I wouldn't
type
say
shit.
it's not him taking it serious. I just
Or
feel
just
like
saying-
he's
or just,
he's-
like, saying, I'm
exactly,
not-
exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I'm falling off.
let me not say it's falling off. More so, it's just like I know I have. It's a little bit of like an oxymoron, low key,
Is Drake gonna respond?
inevitably.
He's on tour right now.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, Drake's the best of all three. Like I don't listen to Kendrick. I don't listen to J. Cole, but Drake
As someone who
plays both
does
of them,
listen to
respectfully.
Kendrick, I will say I understand where all the Kendrick praise
Drake
comes.
clears both.
Yeah, it's not close.
I don't-
Kendrick is
I
a
don't
better
listen-
rapper than
I
Drake.
don't listen to Kendrick
that
or
statement.
J. Cole.
Drake just
to
makes
say-
better music
have
than
a,
both
you
of
know,
them. I feel
opinion.
like a lot of their shit's corny. I know there's a lot of like hardcore J. Cole and Kendrick fans out there. I've not really been
J. Cole
super
puts me
into
to
them.
sleep.
Well, whenever Kendrick Lamar drops, he's on the charts.
Of
he
course.
doesn't drop
So
as
does
hard.
Travis
No,
Scott.
undoubtedly.
Like I think what I could praise Drake for is the consistency and the longevity. He's dropping every single year. He's always in the public eye. Kendrick Lamar more so. He's taking years and gaps
Yeah.
between.
Kendrick drops.
his
I'll be honest. I
projects.
don't tune in. With all due respect.
I'm fine with
I have
quality
not
over
yet listened
quantity.
to Pimp a Butterfly.
Nah,
No.
me
Oh,
either.
wow.
Probably
Me
won't.
either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty crazy.
That is nuts.
We know what type of music you guys are into. I'm surprised you're into that type of music though, Dehls.
What do you mean by that? I want you to get specific when you say that too.
Wait a minute. That felt hilarious.
Now, Riv, when you first met Dehls, and how did you guys get into the conversation and what music did you guys liked?
Did
I mean, we first met like in high school, like freshman year.
I'm fucking crying.
Now,
I don't
now,
know
be
when
honest
we
with me.
ever-
Be honest with me. When Dehls said, I fuck with G Herbo,
It definitely shocked
were you
me.
kind of like, oh, all right.
I had
said,
definitely,
"Aight."
I had to definitely test his temperature, see what type of G Herbo thing. But once I
I'm
found
a
like
diehard G
he's a
Herbo. I was listening to G
diehard.
Herbo on the way here.
As a matter of fact, me and Dehls probably have the same music taste out of all of us. Like
I
we
agree.
both bump G Herbo, A Boogie. Like we love Dirt. Like we don't listen to this shit.
I
y'all listen to.
definitely, I listen to some of the stuff you guys listen to, not all of it.
You don't listen to Young Boy. Lost me.
Chill,
does
chill, chill.
now.
I'm back in.
He's never heard of Untouchables until like 2 weeks ago.
I can't believe he's out of me not once but
Yeah,
twice.
it's nuts.
Whatever.
That's one of the greatest songs.
What
ever
type of
put out.
music do
I
we
just
all
didn't
look like
like
we
it.
listen to?
We
I'd
know
like
what I look like
some
listening.
people in the comment section to answer that question.
I've been getting into country
Logic.
lately, so I still fuck with G Herbo, Rod.
Would you say
A
Logic?
Boogie, but Zach Bryan is hard. Luke Combs is hard. That's about all I listen to. Jordan Davis is tough.
See, this is where
We're
it's,
seeing-
like this
we're-
shit came from left field.
we're
did.
watching Dehls in the midst of his transition.
I'll be honest. I also
I
listen to
still
Luke
be
Combs.
Herb though.
Yeah?
Like
Yeah.
today was a
Dehls put me
beautiful
on the
day.
country
I was
music.
like, I need to go listen to some Herb.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was listening to what else do I listen to on the way?
The most country I listen to is like a Casey Musgraves.
Me and
I listen
Dehls
to Busy Banks on the way here.
nuts.
It's some certain music I just
Busy's good.
some
He's
certain
so
music
hard.
I just can't really bump like that. It may be feel like robbing a bank or something.
We was okay.
That's why when it gets nice out, you start want to drive a little faster. You got to throw some
We was in the
herb on
car
her.
one day, and Dehls was just like, "Oh, you should bump this." And it was some Luke Combs, and I was like, "All right, let me see country music. Let me see what it's about." Yeah, he's dope.
It's
not bad.
It's solid.
Busy. I don't listen to New York drill like that. I don't like it at all.
You fuck with like Chef, Sleepy. They're
That's
not. I
it.
mean, Sleepy's not really drill. I
Was
feel
Pop
like,
Smoke
though. Kind
drill?
of. Yeah,
Kind
undoubtedly.
of, sort of. He has his drill moments.
He was. He
I
definitely
listen to
was drill.
Fabio at times.
Because I was gonna say Pop
Probably
Smoke
fell off from
is transcending music, man.
I feel like I look at Riv and I think this
There
is
we
Should
go.
be good.
His
Lil
racist stuff.
Uzi Vert, Playboy Cardi,
Definitely listen to both.
Lil Durk, Lil Baby when he was at his best gunner.
Still,
That's
yeah,
Future.
yeah. Yes,
Am I
yes.
guessing right?
Future's the greatest.
Young Thug, is he
Yes,
in there?
Young Thug
Yes.
is one of
See,
them
I got it
ones.
right.
Free him.
I thought you were
Drew
going to
has
go to
been
racist route.
Drew
I'm dying. to see
very
where I'm
much
here.
Drake.
I love Drake.
Um,
I'm probably the most diverse music listener here. I'll also put you in that category.
Post Malone fan.
Nope.
I'm a Post
Okay.
Malone fan.
I
I'm
will
shocked
listen
by
to
that.
him.
I'm shocked
I'll
by
listen to him, but I don't love him.
I feel like okay.
I love
I
Post
named
Malone.
Drake. I think
Yes,
you're a
that's
21
easy.
Savage guy.
I do like 21.
Okay.
Greatest.
21 Savage
You have
guy.
to.
I'm
All right,
trying to
listen.
think of more
MKG.
artists.
You can't forget that.
MKG.
MGK. Respect the
MGK.
GOAT.
Okay,
Sorry,
MKG.
my fault.
All right, you can also throw Playboy Cardi in there, Uzi in there.
He's-
Those are definitely my
Is
guys.
MKG a Call of Duty gun?
MGK?
MKG. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
Michael Kidd.
RPG.
Michael Kidd.
No,
Michael
facts.
Kidd.
Yeah, but I feel like there's like a light machine gun. That was.
Were you a Big Sean fan?
No. Oh,
Okay.
God.
I unfortunately was.
They, okay, now I'm saving this for Dehls.
Here we go.
I feel like Dehls.
Damn,
if I were
didn't
to
even
meet
name
him-
SEA. Didn't name the classics. Like,
You a Scissor fan?
don't ever disrespect
I
me.
gotta
like
test
that
your
ever.
temperature. We'll get to that later.
My apologies.
Can you even name 10 songs by SEA?
Don't be stupid.
No. I can't.
Why do you call her SCA?
I know it's SZA, but like I
Please
just have
res-
always
respect
called.
me.
I've always called
SZA,
SEA.
Mariah, the scientist, her, like, please don't disrespect me. I'm there.
You have a tendency to do that stuff. Like you change around how
I know.
people pronounce things.
I know.
Like SZA, that's the first time I heard that.
SCA is nuts.
And then the first time I ever heard somebody refer to OBJ as OJB was also
you did that shit?
Yeah.
Or ODB?
No,
Oh,
ODB.
ODB.
I do OBJ. No, ODB.
I know what you mean.
ODB's Old Dirty Bastard.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I
never
feel
heard
like
that.
that's why people went.
Oh, that's like a hip hop
Yeah,
staple.
That's why. Yeah, RP. OBJ. I feel like people didn't call him ODB because of Old Dirty Bastard, but ODB always just sounded so much more clean. off the
OBJ's
tongue.
clean too, though.
OBJ's firm for sure. I just know I always called him ODB.
With Dehls, I feel like this is
You gotta
definitely
be careful of your words. Okay. Huh?
definitely no. Listen, I'm an open book.
Too open.
Beast Coast.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what that is? If I met Dehls for the first time, I would definitely think he's a Beast Coast 47 era type music
clue who
listener
that
to.
is.
Joey Badass.
Oh God, no! This is so far from Dehls.
I know, but that's what I would think. I would think Dehls would be into Joey Badass. I'm trying to think of
The
another
reality
artist.
is A Boogie, G Herbo,
Album coming.
Dirk for sure, Pop RP. Never really were a Juice fan, right?
Juice is cool. It wasn't like my favorite. Juice is cool.
Juice
Juice
is one
WRLD
of
is
my favorites.
awesome. Yeah.
Trying to think of
he's awesome.
Chef,
Chef, Rod, Leroy.
Facts. Leroy has to be in there too.
Dehls is very much the melodic type of
He
guy.
fell off on Uzi. Breaks my heart. It really
So what
does.
type of
Uzi
music
fella.
you listened to when you were
hell?
younger? Because you said you don't bump
Oh,
Kendrick.
Chief Keef. Facts.
Chief
That's-
Keef. Yeah. I mean, Chief Keef, like, everyone was listening to Chief Keef in high
Facts.
school.
I was not.
Now, I was listening to, like, really the first artist I really got into was 50 Cent.
Okay. That makes sense because low key,
No, the fuck it doesn't.
the artist
It
after
actually doesn't at
that.
all.
How?
50 Cent is the first guy. Like,
Like, rap
What do you
wise,
mean?
yeah.
What do you mean? That's
If
he
he-
had a classic album.
No, 50 Cent is one of the greatest. He's like top 8 for me.
He's one of my
Like, he's one of the
favorite
greatest
ever, yeah.
ever to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when Dehls walks into music, the first guy he named
It was
50
crazy.
Cent.
I don't
It's
even
crazy to
know.
me.
I had a neighbor at the time. He was an older head, but he was from New York, and he loved 50 Cent. He was like, I don't know, he had like kids and shit. So he was the one who like had 50 Cent on their house whenever I go over.
Nuts. Wow.
I didn't just find it because we didn't have like
Okay,
YouTube
that's
at this
interesting.
time.
Now
Bro.
that I'm thinking about it, first one
9.
probably I started to fuck with like that was Usher.
Of course, one and one.
Legend. I feel like that was around that time where I really started locking in music, and that's when he dropped Confessions.
When I was very young, the music I liked the most was rock, like Linkin Park. That was one of my
Fine
favorites.
with that.
Then when I kind of was in my teenage years, the first song that really put me on to Kendrick was Swimming Pools.
Okay.
And then from then I branched out and listened to Kendrick. And when you listen to like Kendrick at first, I feel like he has so many different influences that it leads you to listen to other guys like Common or The Game, Tupac and like the West Coast, like those staples, Snoop Dogg. That's why going from 50 Cent to who was your next artist that you listen to?
Probably like Eminem.
Okay.
It's a legend.
Makes sense. They were cool.
I wasn't like, I really
Talk
didn't
about
start to
fall off.
really start listening to everything like till we got to Hackensack like freshman year. That's when I started listening to Chief Keef and then Dirk. But that's when they like blew onto the scene too. Like Chief Keef was kind of popping in 8th grade for us. Like at the time, it was like
Ninth grade,
2011,
huge.
2012. But that's when he hadn't even dropped Love Sosa at the time.
Say,
I think Don't Like maybe was out.
Don't Like was out.
But he hadn't like blown up yet. And then first couple of months, my freshman year, that's when Chief Keef really blew up.
I was never a Chief Keef fan.
Really?
I was always in the Lil Bibby, Lil G Herbo, and Lil Durk. It was always them first.
Oh no, it was Chief Keef first.
For them,
Big time.
for me, it was always them first.
Finally Rich is such a classic.
It is.
Yo, it's crazy because y'all talking about like when I first got introduced to music was literally Keisha Cole and like Ja Rule and stuff like that. Like
I was
that-
gonna say Mariah Carey definitely
my mom
was
had
one
like
of the
CDs
first
of
two.
that. Like
Mary
she had-
J. Blige is another
like
one.
stuff like that. Like Jay Holiday, that was my first introduction.
Jay Holiday.
Mary J. Blige. Like my mom had CDs of like R&B.
Now you got me in my bag. Bow Wow, no Marion.
Yep.
That was a track.
I still have that album to this day. Then I got into the Heat.
So Dehls went from Maywood Avenue School to Hackensack. and
Completely changed him.
The music horizons expanded. I'm trying to draw the correlations.
It was always there though. Like I was listening to 50 Cent in middle school. But then it was like a whole new scene once we got to high school. Like the drill rap from Chicago just took everything.
That's when it
over.
started really popping
Yeah.
off. Yeah, that was a big influence. At the same time, the East Coast movement with Joey Badass was happening too, and I kind of fell in line to that type of
A$AP
music.
Rocky also.
Like A$AP Rocky.
I loved A$AP. Like
I listened
he was
to
tough.
Mick Jenkins a lot, and then Isaiah Rashad too. Went with TDE.
I liked Earl Sweatshirt for a
Schoolboy
minute. He was
Q.
tough.
Really?
Yeah,
That's surprising to
Fuck
me.
with Earl, but it was like one album maybe.
Did you fuck with Odd Future as a whole?
Nah, not really.
I was
Like
never
Tyler
into
had a
that
couple
clique
songs
either.
I
I was gonna
liked,
say,
but Earl was tough.
Tyler's doing his thing recently for sure.
I was never into that type of Odd Future music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the Odd Future music because, I mean, you had Tyler in there, you had Earl in there, you had Frank in there too. That was in his early days when he was dropping Nostalgia Ultra. That was the mixtape that he had that's still not on streaming, which sucks. But yeah, I was fucking with Odd Future for sure.
Now another
Was y'all
thing.
fucking with B.O.B.?
B.O.B.
Not really.
Like,
course.
yes, of
I did.
course.
Okay, I had to make sure I was in the
That
Not like
first
full
album,
albums,
that,
but like
no,
songs.
that first
That-
album
when
was
he was-
great. With Airplanes, the song with Bruno
yeah.
Mars.
I know.
They had
Rib,
hits.
Rib was fucking with Dave East. heavy.
Nothing on you.
He put me on.
Damn,
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Nothing on you.
Please don't disrespect.
Listen. There's
Nah,
nothing wrong with saying that
Dave
you
East
were a
was-
Dave East
Dave East
fan
was
for
so
his first
fire, bro.
three
I
projects.
was
Dave
never
was so
ever
fire.
First
ever,
three
ever
projects.
Dave East fan.
I say
was
three
so
because
fire.
that third one was when you started to say,
No, Dave
The lights
East had
dimming.
he had
Kyrie
a
Chanel was
classic
one of
mixtape.
one of the
what?
best
Hate-
albums.
Hate Me Now
one of the
and
best
Kyrie
mixtapes.
Chanel.
Yeah.
I'm good off it.
He too was
No,
fire.
Hate Me Now was a classic.
Yeah.
You probably don't listen to it anymore.
What do you mean?
no Coachella.
No, I was saying
Sometimes
no
I'll put-
Coachella
I'll
for
put
me is
them
like
right now and I'll
one of
sing
the
bar
only
for
songs
bar.
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. My favorite song.
I
on
was
it-
just thinking Dave East at the gym the other day. Again came on Kyrie Chanel. I was like, yes sir.
My
let's
favorite
do it.
song is Nino.
Okay, I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Nino's a good one.
Nino is good.
Yeah.
That's a banger.
I'm a
Dave
be
East
real.
has never touched my phone ever, like any of my phones.
That's crazy.
He was.
One of those guys I just.
He had a 2-project run that really, I was like,
He
okay,
started
Dave.
dropping like 18 song projects, 12 features, and then I was like, I can't. This is
18
this isn't it.
songs.
It's not meant for everyone.
Yeah.
Honestly, low key, it's not meant for anyone.
It's
You know who I was listening to the other day? Lil Snoop.
Rip him. That was another guy.
For real.
Man, Mello. Oh man,
was so
that was
Him
a
and Freak
classic.
Mill, man. That was another guy.
Speaker knockers.
Lost some. I knew it. I
TF
knew we were going to
Nunu.
get there, man. Nunu hurt so terribly bad.
Of course. most
His album was
recently.
supposed to drop
LA
3 days
Capone,
before
man.
my birthday, man. December
I know,
15th.
15th.
And
I
then
remember-
it said, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember being in the parking lot. This must have been first couple months after I got my license. We're on Dat Piff at the time because we don't got no Apple Music or nothing. It's the counting down. Newski got the strap. Been waiting for this shit for months and months. It's getting ready. Got delayed multiple times. Dat Piff. It's counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming soon. Never dropped.
That shit hurt,
Yeah,
man.
nah, that's crazy.
WrestleMania is the big event that's happening this weekend. If you're not a wrestling fan, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl for the NFL, the NBA Finals for the NBA, the Stanley Cup for the NHL, the World Series for baseball.
Keep cooking.
This is a big event, and they have made it into 2 nights. So now you get the first night of action, the second night of action. There's a lot of great matches here.
Bro, the fact that there's so much on the card that they had to break it up into 2 nights. First
the
off,
first time?
No. They've done it for a couple of years now.
Yes.
Genius.
Yeah, they have done it for a couple
Brilliant.
years.
The fact that they just said, you know what, we can make this a 2-day event because now they've moved all their pay-per-views to Saturday. But now this is the only pay-per-view that you get Saturday and Sunday. Used to only be on Sundays. But I feel like that's smarter now. You want to watch on Saturday so you have the next day to chill and
You
do
don't want to
whatever
be
you
up
want.
Sunday night. You got work in the
But
morning.
funny enough, this year,
Yep.
you're locked. You're locked because this main event is going to be one of the best, or at least right now, the anticipation is it's going to be one of the best main events that we've seen in some time. So it's going to be as great as
What's
I
the
feel
best
like
match
it's
you
advertised.
guys like ever watched?
Fuck, man, that's a loaded
For
question.
me, the like when I was thinking about it the other day, like the one match that always pops up is like Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. at WrestleMania.
That's the one. To me, the moment that I feel like will never be topped, and I think about it, I get goosebumps. Triple H, Undertaker, with Shawn Michaels as the
that was
special
a good one,
guest
too.
referee, and Triple H
Hell in a
is
Cell.
begging. He's pleading with Shawn, ring the bell for I have to do something that I don't want to do. And so then Triple H essentially goes, Shawn Undertaker goes and hits Shawn Michaels, does something, smacks him, and then Shawn Michaels has to react, hits him with the sweet chin music into the pedigree. 1, 2, and Undertaker kicks out. I feel like that's when you knew, man. The streak was never going to be broken. And then Brock Lesnar goes and ruins that. But that moment right there was crazy.
You know what I think was my favorite moment, my favorite match? I think two come to mind. CM Punk versus John Cena when CM
Money
Punk
in
walks
the Bank.
out with the championship. And the other moment is Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. Retirement match for Ric Flair at WrestleMania.
Rick was on a hot heater that year.
That
He
moment,
was.
that clip has become legendary. It's become memeable.
Yep.
And it's just Shawn Michaels delivering that final sweet chin music to Ric Flair and retiring him. That was,
Rick was
I
on
think,
a heater.
one of the
Rick
best
went out
matches
of
I've ever
goat.
watched.
Every
Rick went out of
pay-per-view,
go.
he was whipping ass, man. Hated had to be Shawn Michaels though.
He did go out of go.
He did.
They got any? What kind of matches? We got like any tables, ladders, and chairs match. We got like
There
Falls
is a
Count
ladder
Anywhere,
match. There's a ladder match for the tag titles.
Steel cage.
For the most part, this is just man-to-man, woman
High
versus
key.
woman vibes.
It is.
Like, show
It
me
is.
who your best work is.
There's a triple threat match. That's for the United States Championship.
There's a six-woman tag team match.
Correct. That's with
Damage CTRL, if that's what they're called.
Damage
and,
Control.
And the black man's dream is 3 black women. They're all beautiful. and gorgeous.
They're all
Bianca
pressure.
Belair,
They are all pressure.
I think the other girl name is Jade.
Yep.
Jade
Jade
Cargill.
Cargill and Naomi.
Yes, and it's bruh. You should watch it.
Nah, they are
Lock
pressure.
it.
They are pressure.
I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I feel like wrestling in the 2000s,
Didn't move him.
I thought you
Very-
was gonna say something else.
very extreme. Like ECW, we had a lot of matches like chair shots.
ECW was cool.
It was very brutal. I'm actually happy that wrestling has transitioned into a much safer route because I don't know if it's just me, but when I watch extreme moments, it bothers me.
Do y'all remember the
The Extreme
TLC
Rules
match
match
with
was
the
fire.
Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian?
Of course.
Like at
They were doing
AEW,
shit.
They were doing. They said.
Yeah.
Then I was watching the interview about them. They were making shit up as it goes.
I've
Like,
seen that video
yeah,
on
it's-
TikTok. I saw that.
But Edge was talking about it. He said he was like what they used to do in the 90s were like 5-10 minute matches, sometimes even lower than that, but it was all about the extra effect. So I think this time, like now you can see people like
You
wrestle
guys
and show
remember?
their talent.
I forget which WWE game it was, but when you did the Extreme Rules and you would look under the ring and it had what's it called?
a circle of objects.
Yes,
does that.
you could fit. Huh?
Still does that.
You can see I haven't bought a
No, he
WWE
hasn't.
game in like 15 years.
Yeah, it still does that, brother. Now, but he used to do it really big. Now it's like small. You kind of just pick what you want.
Yeah, nah, because I'll be watching AEW sometimes and they be slamming each other through like glass, bro.
I will say I like when the wrestling is legit, where it looks like they're actually punching each other. I feel like that's why I like the pay-per-views more, because on Monday night and on Friday nights, you're just trying to get through the show because you have so many of them. But they do try to put on the show for the pay-per-view. I feel like that's why I like watching the pay-per-views a lot more. But I do still kind of look for the realness in the wrestling, in the fighting. But I could definitely do without more insane spots like you're mentioning, but I still like to see them still.
Like Darby Allin is insane.
He's insane. He's ridiculously crazy.
Hey, I am more so worried than impressed at
Yeah.
his spots.
Like Moxley is another one that's like every match he's bleeding. I like to see it, but not. I don't. It's not like I don't like to see it, but I don't look for it. You know, it's like if it happens, it happens. It's cool. Like when Brock Lesnar goes and lifts the ring on Roman Reigns. That was more so funny than it was. You know what I mean? I like to see
I remember when
some
Big Show and
extreme
Mark Henry
spots.
broke the ring.
I did
That was
notice
funny.
Yo, heavy asses. Destroyed the ring. It was like a drop and then another drop. It was crazy.
And night one of WrestleMania, so we have some great matches in night one. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the championship.
Rhea's going to win. I feel like Rhea's going to win. I think it'll be a good match. One of the better matches of the
She's on a run right now.
WrestleMania cards.
I've seen Rhea's build. I take her.
No, she's tough.
Rhea's
I've
goated.
seen somebody.
Generational talent, man.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody say Rhea and Bianca keep the belt for another year, then go at it the next WrestleMania, 1-versus-1 for both the belts.
Nah, I'm done with the unifications. I think it makes sense because Rhea has held the title for so long. But, well, right now it would be Bayley versus Io Sky. That's what the title is for the SmackDown Championship. But this one, Becky's a GOAT. So, like, there's always that possibility that Becky can upset Rhea. But I think Rhea is just the hottest women's star right now that I just don't see her.
Who's your favorite wrestler right now?
Randy Orton always.
Is he still wrestle?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
shit.
locked in. It's Randy for me.
Favorite wrestler? I don't know. I definitely like Roman Reigns, but I don't want to be basic and say Roman.
It's the only reason I came back, man.
Roman or Randy?
Oh.
I respect that.
Only reason I came
How
back.
long has he been back for?
Couple
Maybe a
months
year?
now.
Oh, not
Maybe
even
half
a
a
year.
year.
Yeah.
He's got to be in like his 40s.
Before
now.
he was out for so long, it was just like, I didn't want to watch this.
My guy was always John Cena. That was always my guy. But I mean, at this point, I'm just watching for pure entertainment solely.
My two favorite wrestlers right now, not saying like the top guys like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
Are
Because
we including Seth in that too? Because Seth is definitely number 2 on that list.
yeah, I think Seth could be included. My two favorite wrestlers, Dominic.
You know ball, man. You know ball.
I think Dominic is goated. Dominic, the way he draws a crowd, I never seen anything like it. The heel run he's at. So I don't know if you guys watch wrestling. So Dominic Mysterio, whenever he goes to cut a promo and he goes to talk into the mic, the boos in the arena get so loud that you can't hear him. And it happens whenever he tries to talk. So he's never able to get off a sentence.
That's tough.
That's why a lot of his promos that he cuts out backstage. Like if you're gonna hear him talk and go into like a full segment, it's always backstage because on screen or in the
That's
arena.
kinda fire.
Yeah, in the ring he can't do shit.
Like I can't wait until he gets a real push. It's not
It's
gonna
be-
happen
it's
yet.
Years. Like it'll be maybe 4 or 5 years until he's the guy.
But he's next up, and I think somebody who's next up as well, Braun Baker. I think he's next up.
Okay, I like that one. I like that one a lot actually. The guy who runs back and forth at like 25 miles an hour. Is that his name? Braun? Yes, Braun Breaker.
He's
Yes.
the son of Scott Steiner, I believe.
Yeah, no, he's a crazy ass dude. He's like one of those guys that people are trying to have as like a Brock Lesnar replacement.
Yeah, I think that's those are the two guys that are my favorites. Dominic is my favorite.
Dominic
favorite
is
right
the
now.
GOAT.
The other matches in WrestleMania Night 1 that I think are very important, we could just go through them real quick. 6-pack tag team ladder match. Who do you think wins the tag team titles? It's DIY, New Day, Awesome Truth, Grayson and Theory.
I don't think Judgment Day's losing.
If Rhea
don't think they're
wins,
losing?
Judgment Day will win the tag
Judgment
team
Day.
titles. They'll keep it.
New Day definitely is one of those that because the fans love them so much, I can see them potentially pulling an upset here. But Judgment Day isn't losing. I would not be surprised if Judgment Day walks out with every title, and I mean that with the match that we're going to talk about later. Nice way to cook.
Yes, sir, Dehls. No, yeah, I think you just throw a New Day here to be like, okay, maybe there's some competition, but there's no tag team that has the momentum of Judgment Day.
No.
Ray and Andrade versus Dominic and Santos.
I want Dominic to win pretty badly, but it's not happening.
What's this for?
This is just a regular match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They just added this one to the card, actually.
it's a rivalry between the Mexican factions in WWE.
Why are they putting them against each other?
Because honestly, they've actually been getting some good.
Is that Rey Mysterio
now.
and the
This-
other guys, right?
Yeah,
Dom,
I like it.
Dom kind of just got added to this.
Dom is Ray's son.
Yeah.
I know facts. I'm aware of that.
And he
Okay, I just
betrayed
wanted to
Ray
make sure.
last year. So
And
what
Santos
happened?
Escobar betrayed Rey Mysterio also.
Santos Escobar is like a Mexican wrestling legend who's
Ray
like
still
up and
wrestling?
coming.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
shit.
very much locked in.
And Santos, he was with Ray, and Santos got hurt, and Ray ended up being the United States champion, and therefore Santos betrayed Ray. And that's why they're
some
having
bitter
this
shit.
tag
Damn.
team championship
Big
title match. No, it's not championship title match.
I know what
It's
you mean,
tag
just-
team match. Yeah.
And Andrade just came back to WWE after some time away, but
I think Dominic wins this one.
I'm gonna say Ray.
Cook. Yeah, I think Ray wins. I want Dom to win, but I think it'll be Ray and Andrade.
I think it's going to be Dominic and Santos because I feel like Carlito's going to betray Ray and Andrade.
You know,
Carlito's back?
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Over here.
I feel. You know what?
Give me
I'm gonna go
Ole
Dom. I'm
vibes.
gonna go Dom too. I feel like last year was Ray's moment. That's why Ray beat Dom. But I feel like this year I'm going Dom.
how Andrade just got added to the match when Carlito was like standing side by side with Ray. Nah, I feel like he's gonna betray them.
I wonder if Charlotte had some strings to pull to get her man in the match. But hey, who knows?
Bianca, Jade, and Naomi versus
Let's
Damage Control.
not even a
Give
question.
me the Black Queen.
Yeah.
Bianca.
Not even a question.
Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso.
Jay's winning. If Jimmy wins, I'm gonna be so angry.
It
I got
should be
Jay in
Jay.
this one for sure.
Main event Jay. It's main event Jay, man.
I think the Bloodline loses for the weekend. Yes.
Even the main event Saturday night,
We'll
they're
get to
not
it. We'll
losing
get to it.
that
I think the
one.
Bloodline loses. I think it's time.
Isn't it crazy how main event Jey Uso got that nickname off of like one main event?
It's lit though.
He had one main event. It's like his main event.
His aura
Jey
in
Uso.
the arena is crazy. He gets onto the top rope and he just starts vibing out with the crowd, bro. The whole crowd is going crazy.
Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
Gunther's winning.
Gunther.
Gunther's a
winning.
crazy name.
He's very big,
bro,
bro.
and he's a crazy ass dude.
He's like a Russian, right? He looks scary.
scary, bro.
He just stares at you. You could like it's dangerous, bro.
He hasn't lost in over a year too.
The ring general. I'm going Gunther, man. I want
Shout out to
Sami
Sami
Zayn.
I would
Zayn,
love
though.
Sammy to win. He's been on a crazy losing streak.
But I don't know how much the titles are going to change hands if you have the main one changing.
If this is one that can change.
Yes.
This is one that can legitimately change. Gunther has won so many times that now Gunther can compete for the Universal title if it were to switch hands. Because we haven't. Good.
I'm not locked in WWE. You guys know this. From afar, the whole like the X people have never lost or haven't lost in like 1,000 days to me is whack.
I don't overly disagree, except when it comes to the bloodline.
Like even I don't even know. Like I know they're like a group or whatever, but
Roman
like
Reigns,
Roman
bro.
Reigns just never losing.
He's
like,
the Bloodline.
Is it
Yeah,
just him?
No, it's him and the
His people?
I'll tell you what, man. If you watch, you'd
hilarious.
understand.
But like I just feel
I
like
get
it loses
outside looking
anticipation.
in. Agreed. But there have been moments where you're like, "Yo, is he gonna lose?"
Then he cheats.
And then essentially.
He's
Roman
giving
Reigns-
Triple H Evolution vibes.
But like times 50.
Roman Reigns never wins like fairly. He always has something happen.
You could argue at the Royal Rumble he did win fairly. You could argue. Because after, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. The guy with the thumb.
Solo Sikoa?
Thank you. Once Solo pulled up and he tried to pull some fuckery for Roman, he got put.
Yeah.
And then Roman ended up still clutching on his own regardless. You could argue that, but you're right.
Against Jey Uso.
Oh my God, that was terrible. Where Jimmy goes and that's why I'm glad that they're fighting. Actually,
Yeah, Jey Uso, man. He should have won. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
The Rock and Roman Reigns are winning this one.
Cody and Seth again.
I only
Damn.
say that because there's more of a possibility of Cody winning the main event in night 2 if that's the case.
He's fighting back-to-back nights.
Yeah,
he
they
is
both
main
are.
eventing
Roman
back to
too?
back.
Roman,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh, that's tough.
yeah. Respect the goat.
I'm going
Wait,
to go
so
with
if
The Rock
Roman
and
lost
Roman.
this tag team match, would that count as L against him?
So
It would count as L,
so
but
he's lost in that way already.
oh, he has no championship.
He lost
He don't
to Jay.
lose one-on-ones.
What is it? He lost to Jay and was it Jay and Cody?
it might have been.
Yes. But regardless of that, if Roman and The Rock lose to Cody and Seth, then the main event on night 2, there's no outside interference.
That's why I think they're gonna lose because it's gonna set up just a one-on-one clean match between Cody and Roman, and then the story is over.
No, it's going to be overbooked like hell, bro. That night 2 is going to be overbooked like you've never seen.
I hate when you're gonna be wrong.
So you would want that to be overbooked? Do you want it to be overbooked or no?
Might as well. It's Sunday.
Agreed. It's supposed to be the best main event
I
ever.
get what you mean.
I got the Rock.
We've
in
just
that one, man.
seen it so much. It's like, do we want to see it again?
I was going to say, bro, apparently there's rumors that John Cena is going to come out here, Stone Cold's going to come out.
They always
wow.
tend to come
That's
out.
what I'm saying.
That's cool.
That's why I think it's going to be The Rock and Roman.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you think The Rock's losing? Really think about that.
I mean, shit, true.
Because it's going to be another thing to add on. It's like Cody can't lose 2 nights in a row. And then the Cody fans are going to go crazy. But go ahead, keep going.
Night 2 WrestleMania predictions. The Pride versus the Final Testament. The Street Profits.
I'm actually good off
versus
answering this.
I hope
the
that
Karrion Kross.
I hope the Street Profits win because Bobby Lashley needs a win under his belt.
I think the Street Profits
Shout
are
out
going
to
to win.
Bobby.
Street Profits.
LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
LA Knight is not losing.
LA Knight needs to win. I like
LA
LA Knight,
Knight's
man.
got aura from what I've seen.
he does.
He's very excited.
AJ has like weird aura.
He's an angry guy.
He is. He's
Well, angry
he's
mad
getting
guy.
bitter
The
recently.
aura has left him.
Who AJ?
AJ.
AJ, when he
Not
first
disagree.
came in, legendary.
Nah, OD.
I'm going with LA Knight. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, triple threat for the United States Championship.
You know where I'm going.
I
Randy.
think Randy's gonna win, but I would not be
Me
surprised.
and Drew
if
was talking about this. We need to get Randy back a belt, man. He needs to do something.
I'm gonna say the shocking thing here and say Logan retains.
I think
Which belt is it for?
United States, excuse me.
Randy's in a kind of like putting younger guys up, so if he loses, I can see it, but I would love if he wins it. Man.
Kevin Owens, I think, has a more realistic chance than Randy.
Hope Randy wins.
I hope
Me
so,
too. I
really,
want Randy.
I
to
want it
win,
badly.
but I think Logan wins.
Kevin Owens feels like the dark horse wild card here that could win the championship.
I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens, man. I'm
All
gonna
right,
go with the
good-
dark
good
horse
pick.
pick. Io Sky versus Bailey.
Bailey's winning.
I'm gonna go Sky.
I'm not upset at that, but Bailey's winning.
I think Bailey's winning.
She
I feel
hasn't
like
had a baby face run in some time, and now this is her
Sky's
moment.
winning, bro.
this is the
You
end
going
of
with
damage
Sky?
control.
Going with Sky.
All right.
This is the end of damage control. You're gonna have Bianca, Jade, and Naomi beat them on night 1, night 2. Io loses the championship. Next match: Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
Seth.
Drew's going to win, and Damian Priest is going to cash in.
I think Seth wins. Damian Priest cashes in.
I'm not upset at that either.
Either way,
Something has to happen with Damian Priest.
Are we agreeing Damian Priest cashes in regardless?
I think he cashes in. I only say Drew wins because then it'd be even more to him being an angry, bitter guy. And
He is a little mad.
But or with the way that he's honestly been on this run of cutting his promos on social media and stuff like that, wouldn't be surprised if they were just like, fuck it, Drew's the champ. But I feel like Damian, his cash in is inevitable.
It's no point in giving somebody money in the bank and they never
Or
cash
they give
in.
it to us the day after on Monday Night Raw.
Do you feel like Damian Priest is gonna be a world champion?
Yes, he's going to win.
Because in recent memory, cash-ins and Money in the Banks have kind of been a 50-50 thing.
Recently, you're right.
They gave Jinder
It's
Mahal a
because
run.
people be they did. Jack Swagger's another one.
They can get Damian a run.
If you win the title, if you win the Money in the Bank, usually you do cash out. But you're right. Austin Theory cashed in. That shit was terrible. But they kind of go around about it the wrong way. If you're gonna cash in, it's goofy. It's kind of obvious. But I feel like he's been handling it so to a point where it's not enjoyable. But he's been playing it so safe. He's gonna win.
I think that Drew McIntyre will win as well. I don't know why, but I just feel like the title is going to change hands a lot this WrestleMania. The main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Story ends, brother. Come to a complete close. Cody wins, man. We're here.
I want so terribly to see Roman win.
Why?
Because Cody, I feel like I'm tired of everyone telling me that I need
But if he doesn't
Cody
win, what's
to win
next
the
for
title.
Cody? What does Cody do if he doesn't win?
Cody Rhodes
Keep
needs
chasing.
this, man. He was
we're
fired from
sick
the
of that.
WWE. He was a laughing stock.
Uh-huh.
Came back, built up his name.
Stardust was ass.
Horrible.
Stardust was ass. He
Dashing
came
Cody
back,
and shit.
and he should have won last year.
I'm just
if we're being
I think
honest.
I'm really just tired of everyone telling me that it's Cody's time to win. I really think that that's what's gotten to me. But also this run from Roman Reigns is once in a lifetime shit. Like I have never seen a title run like this. Whether you like to admit it or not, whether it's clean or not, which majority it hasn't been. He hasn't wrestled that much relatively recently. He has been the main catalyst for why people care about wrestling as much as they do, whether you like to admit that or not. He has been generational, and it took him a long time to get here, but he's finally here, and he has been better than so many other guys that have tried to be in his place right now. I feel like that's why I do like Roman Reigns a lot. But again, I think it's because people want and are telling me he's going to win. He has to win. There's no other way it has to happen. But I do think Cody wins.
He's the good guy, man.
He is.
He's the good guy.
He's
Cody
finishing his
Rhodes.
story, man.
They did make a game all about that.
They sure did, bro. Like they're pushing it so bad. Like,
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a bit much.
Yeah, for him to lose, that's pulling the carpet.
If he
That's pulling
loses,
the rug
I
under the carpet.
cry laughing. If he loses, it's hilarious.
I'd feel sad.
I got Roman Reigns, man. I think he's just gonna keep it going, just day in and day out. Champion.
Throw up your one, bro. Throw up your one. We acknowledge.
Hello, brother.
Acknowledge
Hello,
Roman
brother.
Reigns. Man, East playoff predictions. Let's get into NBA talk.
Let's go.
Just Friday that just happened. A lot of games with play-in, playoff spot implications. We now have 4 games left for most teams in the NBA. So what we're going to do is that we're going to try to predict these final spots in the East and the West. We'll start off with the East.
Okay. Number 1, Boston Celtics.
That's easy. 61 wins already, by far and away number 1. The interesting part with the East right now is that I feel like seeds 2 through 6 it can change. Even 2 through 7, honestly, can change with a couple win streaks. More so 5 through 2. That's really where the running is most apparent. My final seedings, I'm gonna have the Celtics at 1, like you mentioned, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bucks maintain the second spot in the East. It's crazy the difference between the East and the West, because in the West, the Bucks would be teetering on a play-in right now. Number 3, I got the Knicks. I think based on our schedule, the Bucks, Bulls, Celtics, Nets, Bulls, I think we can win 4 of those if we're really hot. 3, I think, is the floor for us. Number 4, the Cavaliers. Number 5, the Heat. Number 6, the Sixers. Number 7, the Magic, and number 8, the Pacers.
Damn.
I do have the Magic falling out.
I would say the Magic are 2 games up on the 7th seed right now. They just lost a tough game last night to Charlotte. Brandon Miller. I didn't watch the full game. So the halftime stats, Brandon Miller, 10 of 10. He was going crazy. The Magic, especially recently, they've been so streaky. They've lost like 3 in a row, then they win 4, then they lose a couple of games. How does their rest of the season schedule finish with?
Chicago, Houston, Milwaukee, Philly, and then the last game of the season is against Milwaukee. So Milwaukee twice. I think the way Milwaukee's been playing, I mean, this guy's been tweeting about him like it's his favorite team. Man. It's been crazy, more funny than anything. But 3 straight L's against bad teams.
Some of the worst teams in the NBA.
So it's not out of the question that they can win one or maybe even potentially win both. But
they got Houston, Bucks, Sixers on the road.
Indy and Miami play tomorrow, I believe. That's going to be a big game to decide that 6th seed.
The Pacers remain in schedule. The Heat, the Raptors, Cavs, and Hawks. That to me is like 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, damn, that to me is 2 and 2.
If you had Miami and the Sixers finishing at 5 and 6,
yeah, I think the Sixers aren't going to lose another game.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means that Boston and Milwaukee both luck out because they're not going to have to face either of them in the first round. You're going to be going up against the Pacers, or you had. I guess the Magic isn't lucky now. I shouldn't say that. The Magic are a solid team, but the Bulls, Hawks, and Pacers being 3 out of the 4 instead of potentially 3 out of the 4 being the other way, and you have the Heat and 76ers in there. It's a big break.
I'm with you, Joel. I mean, this is a cupcake schedule to close the season for the Sixers. At Memphis, that'll be a closer game than what people think.
There's a back-to-back on there, though, right?
Correct.
So
at San Antonio.
He's probably going to sit one of those.
That's true. I think he probably, if I had to guess, misses at Memphis, plays against Victor in San Antonio. Then Detroit, Orlando will be a good game, but I can see Philadelphia winning that one. And then versus Brooklyn. I think that they win that game relatively easily as well. I mean, this is a pretty easy schedule and honestly perfect timing for the Sixers to be playing great basketball, and on top of it, more important than anything, Joel Embiid to get back so he can get his game back and refined against pretty bad competition to get some confidence to go into the playoffs.
It's pretty close for me. Like the Magic, I have at 47 wins. It's similar to the Heat and Sixers. I have them in that same win. They have the same win total, but I think the I think the Magic. No, sorry. I think the Sixers get the tiebreaker in that. I'm all over the place right now.
That's okay.
I think between the Magic, Heat, and Sixers, I'm not sure exactly how the tiebreakers are going to be.
Okay.
But I think from the last time I checked, the Heat are the first one, then it's the Sixers, then it's the Magic based on tiebreakers.
I mean, the Eastern Conference really has been all over the place for the last, we can honestly talk about all season long. But one thing that has been sneakily under the radar has been the Indiana Pacers getting back to their form offensively. For a majority of the season, we understand that if you look at the grand totals of the NBA 2023 season, 2024, they've been a top 2 offense all year long. But post All-Star break, for a while, they were a slightly above average offense, but recently they've been able to get back to that number 2 offensive rating post All-Star break. They've been playing some pretty great offense, and defense hasn't been as terrible as it was earlier in the season or for a majority of the season, where we're talking about one of the worst defenses in the league, but now we're looking at the Pacers middle of the pack post All-Star break. And I feel like that also does have to do with Pascal Siakam's arrival, but pretty interesting because they're starting to get hot again at the right time, and that's obviously huge and what you were anticipating when they did trade for Pascal at the deadline.
I just checked, and the Heat have beat the Magic this year 3-1 season series. Sixers, it's 2-0. And the Heat and Sixers right now, it's a 2-2 matchup with them. and they don't have a game remaining. So if they do have the same record, that's how the tiebreakers would go. Magic would be the last team there. I think the Magic, I mean, the way the seeding is right now, it's so wide open that Orlando could win these games and they could get as high as the second seed.
They could.
I mean, all those scenarios are possible.
So you have Orlando falling to the play-in.
I have Orlando, in the play-in. With the Pacers, I think that's 7 and 8.
They do have a tough schedule the rest of the way.
They do.
But I don't know. Milwaukee, I know these last 3 games have been ugly. I was giving them some shit for it last night. But I have a hard time believing. I'm just going to see their rest of season schedule real quick. They have the Knicks, Celtics, the Celtics, I really don't think they're going to be playing a lot of people. Magic, Thunder, and Magic again. So they don't have the easiest schedule. But I feel like you lose these 3 games to the Wizards, Grizzlies, and Raptors. You got to get something going into the playoffs. Dame and Giannis haven't played together in these 3 games. I think you had Giannis played in 2 or 3. He missed last night. Dame did play. He ends up fouling out in the fourth quarter. But they have a 1-game lead right now over the Cavs, 2 over the Magic and Knicks. That's tough. I still think Milwaukee finishes at the 2 seed here. I do think down the stretch you're going to have to get some of these wins. And when you have some of these teams who maybe don't have as much playing for them, like the Celtics, like the Thunder, although the Thunder are going to be playing for potentially the 1 seed, just the injuries they've had. Who knows what Shea and J-Dub look at the time. I think they could win at least, they could possibly win 2 of those games, and then you split with the Magic. I think 3 wins puts you in a pretty good spot. But I don't see a whole lot of change. Like, I agree with you. I think the 76ers rise. I think they get to that top 6 seed. Indy and Miami, I think, comes down to tomorrow's game. I think whoever wins that game also gets into, or I guess has the tiebreaker there between those 2. And I still like the Knicks at 5. The Magic is a tough one because of that rest of season schedule. But I would go with Boston at 1. I would have the Bucks at 2. I think I would have the Knicks rise to 3 here. Cavs 4. Magic 5, Sixers 6, Heat 7, Pacers 8.
So your plans are the Heat and Pacers.
Yes.
What are your plans, Drew?
I do think the Heat are one of those playing teams for sure. I think Philadelphia can clutch to that 6th seed. I don't see Orlando falling. I understand that their schedule is pretty tough, but having that 2-game cushion is going to be relatively beneficial for them. If I had to go right now, I would go Miami as my one playing team, and I would go. That schedule is easy. It's between Indy and Philly. I just think Philly being a game and a half, they can catch up to Indiana in that span. I'll go Indiana also as my second playing team.
This is tough. Orlando
Cavs fall into the play-in?
No.
Okay.
No way.
They do have a tough schedule coming up though. Knicks fall into the play-in maybe?
No.
Okay. Yeah, the Glazers.
We have a pretty easy schedule too.
Really? Because you lost last
Play
night.
the Bulls 2 more times.
You lost already. So
We play them one. Oh no, we do.
Yeah,
we'll beat y'all next.
The
year.
Cavaliers
Don't matter.
last 5, Lakers.
No.
You got
Clippers. Who got lucky?
The Bulls.
You didn't watch the game.
Oh, you got lucky.
You just say you didn't watch the game. Nothing about it was luck.
No, I know you guys beat us fair and square, but I'm saying
You got the Bucks
us
tomorrow.
being off
Both need wins
was fortunate for you
Desperately.
guys.
in Milwaukee.
We're winning the next 2 against Chicago.
Can't believe a 14-game lead for first place.
Stamp.
That's actually impressive.
So crazy.
The game that you need the most in this last 5 is
Still a
that
push
game
here.
versus the Pacers.
Yeah.
You can lose to the Lakers. You can lose to the Clippers. If it really gets that bad, you're going to beat Memphis. I mean, it should be circled win. Indiana is a must
You just
win.
got to win the last.
And then
3.
Charlotte. You have
gotta win the
agreed.
last
Well
3.
said, Riv.
Everything is cool. I don't think Milwaukee has this stranglehold on number 2. I think Orlando can get up there. I think all these teams can get up there.
Especially with the
The way they've been
games.
playing, as long as those 2 are healthy, though, you expect them to win these type of games. But playing the Knicks tomorrow or whenever it is, it's not an easy game. Whether both of them play, one of them play. So you hope they both play. But my plan would probably be either Philly or. It really depends on tomorrow night's game for the Pacers and the Heat. Like, I think whoever loses that game is probably going to be a playing team. I just think, I don't know if Orlando drops all the way to a 7-8. They've been up and down, but them being a 4th seed is impressive. Cleveland's schedule is tough, but I think they'll maintain either 3, 4, or 5. I think the Knicks will stay in that same boat. So I think for me, I'll probably go Pacers and Philly end up as my playing team. I think I'll put Pacers at 8, Philly at 7. I think the Sixers win the play-in with relative ease. I think they handled the Indiana Pacers. And they go ahead and they play. I think Milwaukee ends up with the 2nd seed. I'll go wild card. I'll go Orlando at 3.
Ooh.
Cleveland at 4.
Nice.
No, Orlando. Yeah, Orlando at 3, Cleveland at 4. I'll go Knicks at 5, and then I'll go 6. I'll go Miami, 7, Philly, and then 8 the Pacers. So I have a little fun with it.
By no means do I think that the Knicks remaining 5 are easy, but I would say in comparison to the Magic, it might be easier because you mentioned the Celtics already. They're probably not going to have a majority of their guys playing, and they finish with Milwaukee, which is going to be a great game, with the Bulls twice, like we already spoke about, Boston and Brooklyn. There is a world they can win all 5. They can win all 5 here. That's why I feel like them staying where they are right now and looking at the Magic schedule, I feel like it is more likely to see the Magic fall off a little bit comparatively to the Knicks. But I respect where you're coming from. If I had to go 1 through 8, I would go, obviously, Boston Celtics number 1. I would go Milwaukee number 2. I'll go number 3. I think the Knicks can get that 3 seed. I'll go 4, Cavaliers. 5, I'll go the Orlando Magic. 6, Philadelphia. 7, Indianapolis. And then 8, Miami.
Yeah, I think that Hornets game stung them, but I think if you handle business against Chicago, you beat Houston on the road, and you just grab one of those Bucks games, the Sixers is going to be a tough game. But if you want to get into playoff basketball, like I think these games are going to really prepare you for, especially that Sixers game, which both teams are probably going to need it on Friday. Even the Bucks game, I think they're still going to play those guys that game. Like these are games that are going to kind of test you for that. So
we all have Pacers Heat 7-8?
I have the Magic and Pacers 7-8.
You had
Sixers, Pacers.
Okay. So who you had the Sixers winning the play-in, you said, right?
Sure,
so they'd have the 7 seed. They would play your 2 seed, which would be the Bucks.
Yes.
That would be a good series. 7-8, I had Milwaukee and the Pacers. I would have the Heat playing the Bucks. You had the same, right? You're just picking the Heat over the Pacers?
That'd be a good game. I would just respect the Heat there.
And who was your 2 seed?
My 2 seed is going to be Milwaukee.
Okay, so basically, and excuse me, who's yours again?
Magic and Pacers 7-8. I think that's a toss-up. It can go either way. And then, of course, Bulls and Hawks 9 and 10.
So, I mean, no matter how you cut it, that 7 seed going up against Milwaukee, bless you.
Thank you.
The way they've been playing, that's a tough look. Milwaukee, honestly, might want to slip to that 3rd seed and see if they could get a younger Magic team potentially in the first round.
I mean, yeah, if the Heat come out of that play-in.
They've done it in the past. Leave it at that.
If the Heat face them in the first round, I mean, yeah, based off what happened last year, you don't want to play that team in the first round. I think that goes for the Celtics, too.
I was going to say, do the Celtics want to play the Heat in the first round?
No, they don't.
I'm beating that ass. Who would you guys have winning the Bulls-Hawks game?
Oh, come on. I think we already know.
Big Chirac over here, man.
I have Chicago in that game.
We'll have home. We'll be home.
Have to die on this hill. I will say this DeJounte-led Atlanta Hawks team.
I'll be damned if Caruso lets him kill him in Chicago.
That's a fact.
I'll be damned.
If I'm Donovan, I am 100% having Caruso play him every minute that he's on the court.
The Bulls can make the playoffs realistically. Like if they beat the Hawks, like my play-in
Bulls would beat the Pacers
is Magic versus Pacers. I don't know if they would beat them.
No, we can
but
beat the Pacers.
They could beat them.
We can beat the Pacers.
Yeah,
I can beat the Magic too.
We can. It's just defensively, they shut us
lock
down.
up.
We're fucked.
Man, if the Hawks
that'd be an ugly game.
beat you guys,
You won't.
what happens?
Well, you won't beat either one of those teams.
I'm just asking the question. The Hawks beat the Bulls.
Defense is too trash.
What do you do with the Bulls?
I mean, I
win or lose, what do you do with the Bulls?
No, win or lose, the same question is going to be asked. Even if we make the playoffs, the question is going to be asked.
That's true.
What do you do with the
Because last
Bulls?
year you didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I didn't want to make it last year. I didn't even want to make it this year. I wanted to blow it up last year, months
Almost
ago.
had it last year.
Yeah.
I think every single Bulls fan wanted to blow it up.
Yes.
Everyone
You're
did,
not
except
alone.
the front office.
No, for real.
Shout out to them.
So, it is what it is, but I'm just excited to cause some chaos. You know? So if the Pacers don't get in, I'm excited for that, Don't like the Pacers. If the Magic don't get in, unfortunately, I'm not excited for that because I have an agenda for them.
I would like to see the Magic in the playoffs, especially this young of a team.
I would also, too. I would like to see these young teams get in, but unfortunately.
Magic to 3. Respect that.
I do. Mm-hmm. I respect them.
The Western Conference is always exciting. The 6th seed, the Suns, 46-31. That would be tied with the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. The West is just so loaded, and every team 1 through 9 are awesome teams. I think the Warriors are the one team in that they aren't awesome.
The hell?
They haven't been terrible recently.
Oh, no.
Yo, there's no way you're not going to have the Kings in that not awesome tier.
We're not even bad.
The Kings have a lot of injuries.
You guys are just the definition of slightly above average.
I think we're a good team.
I think the Warriors are better than the Kings. I'm not
We
going
have
to
42 wins.
You know what? Your defense has been really good. Your offense is just so.
We have one player
Agreed.
that can create, but we're a good team. I think we're a good team.
It's likely that the Warriors, I have them finishing with 45 wins as a 10 seed. Is pretty crazy. It's pretty insane.
It's back to the West vibes.
Yeah, it is. It's just comparatively in the West. Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
we'd be a top 6 team in the East.
Of course. Yeah, you
Nice.
guys would.
We actually be
That
3.
is-
You'd be 3. Shout out to y'all.
you wouldn't be 3 right now.
Yeah,
No, I'm not
Actually, if the Warriors were in the
I wasn't
East-
talking about. I was talking about
If you were in the
team-wise.
East, you'd be the
Okay.
fucking tied for the 8 seed.
No, I wasn't talking about standing wise. I'm talking about seeding team wise. Like we'd meet you guys in the ECF.
Oh, smoke y'all.
Nah, you think so?
Beat you by 50.
Lakers would be a playoff
too.
lock in the West, in the East.
Beat us in like November.
That was when we were good.
The Warriors in the East are probably like a top 3 team.
Probably. I'll say top 5 to be safe.
The Warriors better than the Sixers?
No, when the Sixers are healthy, no.
Oh,
Are they
they're
better than the
Bucks.
Knicks?
Knicks.
You can make an argument.
The Knicks, we can beat the Knicks in a series. We could beat Philly in the series.
OG healthy?
Did beat the Knicks in MSG.
Huh?
OG healthy?
Yes.
Did they beat them?
We did beat the Knicks at MSG.
The most recent game that you guys
I went
just
to.
played? Got
Yes,
it.
I was
Got it.
there.
That's a
Steph
fact.
was
You did.
lighting them the hell up.
He was.
Yeah. No, I think we can do that.
And against the Bucks.
I'll take
We
Milwaukee.
beat them.
Okay.
We beat them this
So did
year.
we.
Everyone beats the Bucks.
Exactly.
Good point.
You say Wizards. Go ahead.
That was a little tough.
Raptors,
Yeah,
Grizzlies.
We don't have
Grizzlies.
any size for Giannis, so that was a little tough. But
Any team that you go against that has a legit big scoring option,
we're fucked.
correct.
But everybody else we're pretty cool against. I didn't like that shot. The Kings suck.
Yeah,
Kings aren't.
they're not. They're.
I'm not allowed to talk shit
Up
on
and
the
down.
Kings.
They're up and down.
I didn't like that shot.
They're up and
We're
down.
a
Up and
Draymond
down
Green
is-
suspension for being top 5 seed.
It's going to run with this.
I don't have the West moving much. I think the top 6 seeds are pretty much locked in.
You
So
don't
they're
think?
gonna be.
You don't think?
Phoenix
the,
and Dallas are neck and neck.
I think
the
the
Lakers
movement,
can't finesse.
No, the movement is going to happen between 10 and 7. My final predictions: 1 through 6. What that changes is 1 to 3. I think Nuggets are getting the first seed.
I agree.
I think OKC gets second. The Timberwolves get third. Clippers, Mavericks, Suns, exactly how it is. I have the Lakers going to 7. I have the Pelicans going to 8. The Kings at 9 and the Warriors at 10.
Well,
What
listen,
has you? Are you just think SJ is coming back soon? J-Dub, I think only missed 1, maybe 2 games, right? I don't think he's
SJ's
missed
missed
a
the
lot.
last.
I'm gonna be-
SJ's missed a handful.
I think Jay does miss 2.
I think OKC is complacent with making the playoffs, being a top 3 team.
They've done enough.
I would have them at. I would have Denver 1, Minnesota 2, OKC 3.
OKC,
kinda what I'm leaning
their
to.
remaining record: Hornets, Kings, Spurs, Bucks, Mavs.
Hornets, Kings, Bucks, Spurs, Mavs.
I think that's 3
Kings
and
need
2.
it. Mavs need it.
Yeah.
They're coming out
The
blazing.
Timberwolves face the Lakers, Wizards, Hawks, Suns. So 2 of those games, Wizards and Hawks should be gimmies, but Lakers, Nuggets, and Suns are all going to be pretty
For
tough.
sure. And I think that Nuggets game is going to be the battle for the 1 seed. So I think you get the
This
Nuggets
is-
best foot.
This is what I want. You know, this is the seeding I want. I want Denver. No, I want Minnesota at 1. I want Golden State at 8, and then I want Denver at 2. The Lakers at 7.
Hate you for this.
And then I want OKC at 3. I want Dallas to finish 6. And then I want the Clippers and the Suns 4-5.
Rematch.
I could get behind that. I could get behind.
I
you there.
want that for so many reasons.
You
I
don't
can kill
want
2 birds with
What
one
about
stone.
the Clippers versus the Mavericks?
I want that, but I can't. I don't like OKC and the Suns aren't a bird to kill. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Clippers and the Suns are a bird for me to kill, and then OKC and Dallas is just me to see another bird die. You know what I'm saying?
But that's also what I mean, though, in terms of Mavericks versus the Clippers. They're saying that Kawhi is not the best player in that series.
no, that's
not even close.
But that's
apparently.
not like
He's
I want-
not.
Yeah,
He's
I
close to
want-
the
They're
I want
saying
two
that.
birds.
Correct. That's what it is.
Close to the
He's
third best.
closer to the
No,
third best.
That makes sense, but I want two birds killed. I want a Suns agenda on this podcast to die, and then I want Dallas to lose in the first round.
Got it.
So I would, if I can get it, in 2 different ways.
What
I
happens
would
to the
do it like
opposite
that.
happens.
Then we just gonna have to go mud
Then
up
if they,
with
if they face each other, then you know like at least one bird dies.
Then I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But I would rather.
I mean, they're not going to face Suns and Dallas aren't face each other first round.
No,
so.
Clippers got to see either Dallas or Phoenix. I'm
The
ready
way
for whoever.
my standings are, I think there's a lot of unpredictability because I have the Nuggets 1, OKC 2, Timberwolves 3. The Lakers and Pelicans, Lakers win that play-in spot.
Yep.
So OKC would face the Lakers in the first round. And then between
Matchup.
the Pelicans versus the Kings Warriors winner, that could be whatever 3. Doesn't really matter. They're going to lose to Denver anyway. But it could be the Pelicans Nuggets, Warriors Nuggets, Kings Nuggets.
Stop.
What?
The Kings don't have a chance.
They do
don't
have a chance.
No, they don't. No,
How do they not
don't.
have a chance?
They
I
don't
can't
have
talk
a
make
shit
the
on them.
playoffs?
I'm not
They don't have a
allowed.
chance.
So they don't have a
That's
chance to beat the
tough.
Pelicans in one game.
You just said the injuries are piling up for the Kings right now. I would
You
take
just
the
said you
Warriors
had the
in that
Lakers you had the Kings as a 9 seed, and your prediction they wouldn't play the Pelicans.
if the Pelicans lose, the winner of the Kings Warriors would face them.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't think they're. Oh, okay. Wait. So you have.
They have a chance to beat the Warriors, bro.
Nah.
It's like
not in my mind.
The Warriors, bro. What have the Warriors done?
The Warriors
to
are
be
unbeatable.
invincible?
If the Kings,
When it comes to the Kings,
in a one,
absolutely.
in a one game,
Seven
in a one game
series
decide.
last year.
All right, maybe whatever. Warriors.
Who you taking, Dehls?
Warriors
I'm
win.
taking the
You're
Warriors.
not thinking
Can I
twice
tell
about
you-
it, right?
I'm not thinking hard.
Yeah,
I'm not.
it's not a quick. It's not a.
But they have a chance. They have a chance.
All right, fine. Everybody has a chance.
7 through 9 can be decided in these last 5 games because they do match up against one another. You do have the Pelicans that face the Kings. If the Pelicans win that game, the Kings probably are shot from having any chance at 7. The Lakers on the last game of the season for them play against the Pelicans. That can propel them all the way to 7 because I believe we do have the tiebreaker over them.
You're a game behind right now.
So we are a game, which means we beat
No,
them.
we're only 2.
They lose, obviously. That goes and
catch
we
up?
move up to 7. I think you guys are locked at 10, respectfully.
You could be locked at 9.
But
Yeah, because they're fucking mid. That's why they're locked in at 10.
yeah,
I hate when you act like you don't know ball because we're not mid. We're above average.
You're mid.
We're a good team.
You're mid.
their
we're a good
defense post All-Star top 7. Offense is mid. It's mid, brother. I say
As
this
of lately, yes, it has been mid.
And Steph Curry's not been the same, has he?
He's the only guy. He's the only guy.
He's not been the
at
same.
the age of 36. It's unfortunate that is his role, that he has to backpack. He's 36 years old. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you're a superstar and you're an all-time great. You kind of are dealt this hand. But I don't feel bad. I have no. Listen, I'm sorry.
Oh, this guy AD over here talking
AD
about
and LeBron, they won 2 games ahead of us. It's,
Agreed.
it's funny to me. You know?
Hey, listen. One of us made the WCF last year.
Fuck.
One of us won a ring.
Well, both of us.
Bubble.
Can't forget that, man. You know.
I always forget.
So whatever. I really don't care who the 8th seed is because they're going to lose to the Nuggets anyway.
That's why I need us to keep.
Also, I want to
Get
let
me
you
to
know
7-8.
if the Pelicans and Warriors play, the Pelicans are winning that game if they're healthy in the play-in.
Maybe not.
If Zion probably will play, I think he's going to miss a couple of these games down the
think B.I.'s
stretch.
coming back.
I do believe Bi is going to come back. If it's Bi and Zion back for the Pelicans against you guys,
Pelicans are a really good team.
I will go
though.
with the Pelicans.
Pelicans are a
personally.
really good team. I wouldn't be mad at losing to the Pelicans.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
It's a respect.
They're a really good team.
I think you beat the Kings. I think you beat the Kings, but if it's the Pelicans versus you guys, I think I would lean Pelicans there.
I'm not mad at that. One game though, you got Steph. Life goes on.
That's
you know?
true.
My first seed, Nuggets versus either of the Pelicans, Kings, Warriors, OKC versus the Lakers, the Timberwolves versus the Suns, and the Clippers versus the Mavericks.
West is gonna be fun this year, man.
West is going to be lit.
West is gonna be
Now let
fun.
me ask you a question. Lakers go up against OKC in round 1. Who you picking?
I'm picking OKC.
That's a tough series.
You feel good about that?
I don't feel great about it.
Okay.
But I'm picking
Respect
them.
that. I'm fine with that.
No, I'm picking them.
Who would you go with?
The way
OKC.
Josh Giddey's been playing lately,
OKC.
Okay.
the way Josh Giddey's been hooping lately, man, I don't know. That would be a 6 or 7 game series. As I stand right now, I probably slightly lean the Lakers.
You could go on the adverse side of that. Yeah, you have Josh Giddey playing well, but one of your staples this season for the last 2 weeks has not been, and that's Chet
You have
Holmgren.
SGA injury is a bit of a concern. J-Dub not that worried about. But yeah, Chet's been struggling. Gordon Hayward, I don't think has
Sounds like a bunch
had
of
the
nonsense
impact
to
they
me.
were
Nah,
expecting either.
I think both of them are resting right now because it does not matter
No,
to
SG
them.
is hurt.
So let's say if,
I
if
think,
the,
but I think
'cause
they're
when
trying
SGA
to
was
get him right
playing-
for the playoffs.
When he was playing, SGA was struggling. He wasn't the same efficient, giving you 30 every night.
if the Lakers beat OKC, then in the second round they'd match up with the Suns or Timberwolves.
And
And
I am
if they beat
100%
OKC,
okay
I
with
think
that.
they could get
Just
past that
keep
second
me
round,
on
too.
the opposite side of Denver. If I had to play Denver.
Are the Timberwolves beating the Suns?
That's going to be an amazing series.
I don't know about all that, but are the Timbs beating the Suns?
I think it will be an amazing series.
I ask you that.
That's
You're
tough.
deviating from the question.
That's two
What's the
like
answer?
such different play style of teams. Two like different.
Gun to my head, I would roll with KD and Book.
Gun to your head. Who are you rolling with?
Is Cat back?
No.
Sure.
Oh, okay. If Cat's
Cat's
back, now
I'm
we're
taking
having
the
a
Wolves.
conversation.
If Cat's back, I'm taking the Wolves.
He hasn't played in a while.
I don't think
I
he
know.
is. I don't think Cat's back.
The thing with these teams is that
Your teams.
they both have problems that are similar in some aspects. Fourth quarter, not the best for both. Turnovers, not the best for both.
Offense as a whole for the Wolves.
Really, it's just about
My God.
the Suns' star power
Oh.
and then the Timberwolves' defense. I think the Timberwolves' defense is suffocating.
Yes.
So I would go with them in a
Damn,
series.
so KD goes out?
Maybe. But I also think if the Suns meet the Lakers in the second round, I think the Suns could beat the Lakers in a series.
I don't hate that opinion.
Like
That's,
so
that's a tough series
that's
for us.
why in the West it's unpredictable because you have a team like the Suns who, because of matchup, could maybe make the conference finals.
I also just don't think LeBron would lose to KD in that sense. I'm just saying.
Oh, he's already lost to KD.
Well, when he had the best team ever.
I just
he
don't.
does
You
have
don't
a
really
better
have
team
dudes to throw at KD and Book like Minnesota would.
But who does?
They don't have shit. Vanderbilt won't be back.
Who do the Suns have to throw at AD?
It's gonna be.
Yeah, like that's why I feel like that conversation gets so. I could easily say I easily have a combat for that.
But when they were healthy, they beat you up by like 40.
No, they didn't.
With Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal had 40 points, I think.
Oh, no. We didn't lose by 40.
We lost by like 20, though.
I remember it was double digits. I don't remember it being 20.
All right, let's see. Suns versus Lakers history. I want to see how much.
I think we're
February?
I think we're 3-2 because we play in the
123, 113.
Yeah.
Lakers Suns.
Yeah.
February.
I remember it being double digits.
No, before that it was 20. January 11th.
109, 127.
127. Yeah.
That was when Bradley Beal had 37.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've spanked you. Not spanked.
18. Gotcha.
And LeBron and AD
I was going to say we're 3-2.
AD had 13 points in that.
Because we play in the play-in like every game.
But the point is, I think it's just
3 times
unpredictable.
early in the
We
season.
played the Pelicans on April 12th. Did not know that.
And then the Mavericks or the Clippers would face the Nuggets in the first round. I mean, in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have the Nuggets in both of those matchups.
There is not a series that I wouldn't take the Nuggets in. However, obviously, if the Lakers play against them, I will be rooting for the Lakers, and I will be picking the Lakers.
Nothing wrong
but
with that.
understand, I don't believe it.
This year we won't. I'm assuming at least we won't all be picking the Lakers. We did last year.
Keep going, please. Don't make the same mistake. At least you guys have wisened up a little bit.
Nah, the West is going to be really fun.
It's
man.
going
I'm
to be
excited about it.
elite.
That's the way my bracket falls. How do your brackets fall?
I already said mine.
I will have.
Did you not hear
You
me?
did. No, I heard you say it.
I'll go. I'll have Denver finishing 1. I'll have Minnesota finishing 2. OKC finishing 3. I think the Clippers stay at 4. I'll go. I think Dallas at 5 is pretty safe. At 6, I think it's unreasonable to think that the Lakers can get there. I think that the top 6 kind of stays that same as it is right now. I just flip Denver and Minnesota. I'll put Phoenix at 6. 7, I'll go Lakers. 8, I'll go Pelicans. 9, Sacramento. And 10, Golden State.
Yeah, I got the top 6 is locked for me, but same order as you, Drew. I would have Denver 1, Minnesota 2, OKC 3, Clippers 4, Mavs 5, Suns 6, 7. I think I would. I just don't know how long Zion's going to be out for. I know they said it's not like a long-term injury, but even if you miss 1 or 2 games, and you could drop pretty easily. So I do think. Do you have the tiebreaker over the Pelicans, the Lakers?
I'm pretty sure we do.
If that's the case, I would be putting the Lakers at 7.
I'll look it up real quick.
Pels at 8, Kings at 9, Warriors at 10. I would have the Lakers and Warriors.
Does the
winning those
season
play-ins.
tournament count?
Every game counts except the championship. So
Okay,
I'm pretty sure every
beat
time.
them twice.
Yes.
So they beat y'all once. So
So you have
Sunday.
the tiebreaker. Oh, they play against Sunday.
Yeah, they play one more time.
That's what
on
I'm
Sunday.
saying. That last game of the season can dictate 7 and
Let me
8.
just look up tiebreakers for these 4 teams. So Pelicans and Warriors are 1-1. They got one more game coming up. Pelicans and Lakers 2-1. They got one more game coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans Kings. This is not. Pelicans beat them twice. I don't think they have one. I can't find the third game, but
They do have another game coming up.
Yeah, so the Pelicans beat them twice. So pretty much the Pelicans got a couple important games coming up, man.
They do.
Look at Warriors.
Yeah, the Kings play the Pelicans on
Shit,
April 11th.
every game for
on
all
Thursday.
these teams are important.
That's what I'm, bro.
It's
The
not-
fact that they match up.
Shout out to Adam Silver in the
He knew what he
play-in,
was doing, man.
Cooked, absolutely cooked.
Anyone that doesn't like to play in doesn't like exciting things.
All these games have huge implications, and yet there isn't this sense of urgency still.
In what
From
sense?
some teams,
Sense of urgency just in the air. I guess it's just a feeling, because when you watch NFL games and it's week 18 or week 17 and it's a very important game, that sense of urgency, you really feel it.
I feel like the NFL is just tough because it's one day. Like all the anticipation, you could talk about it all week. Like we're having this conversation, and then Monday comes around. We know the Indy Miami matchup. It's like, oh well, that kind of got settled.
I'll be transparent though. I feel like it's situational where I watch the Lakers and I feel like we've been playing with a sense of urgency all 2024. Since the new year, we've been playing like every game matters because, of course, our seeding is relatively low. But we've been one of the more winning teams since the start of the new year. It's just the West has been so loaded with other teams that are playing winning basketball too that we just can't climb. But offensively, we're playing at such a fast pace. We're knocking down jump shots. Defensively, recently we're starting to get on the right track, but we play with a sense of urgency. I look at the Dallas Mavericks. They've been playing with a sense of urgency for sure. So I feel like it is situational, but for a majority, you look at these top teams, they're kind of cruising because that's also what you see in the NFL too. But I feel like I haven't seen a sense of urgency in the Phoenix Suns. I haven't seen a sense of urgency with the Los Angeles Clippers. I haven't seen a sense of urgency from the Kings. Seen a sense of urgency from the Warriors, even though they did blow it yesterday. They're trying their absolute hardest to play winning basketball. So I feel like that is pretty situational. I would say that it still exists.
I think it's the East. I feel like there's not this huge sense of urgency. I do feel like the Bucks losing these 3 games they have. The Pacers got a nice win over the Thunder, but a couple of games ago they lost to the Nets. You had Orlando last night losing to the Hornets. Like, of course, some of these games are going to happen, but then you look at West, you see, the Clippers last couple of games have been playing better. The Suns, I think, are on a 3 or 4 game winning streak. You have Dallas, of course, who has been the hottest team in the NBA over the last month. So you have all of these teams rising in the West and I feel like kind of starting to catch their groove. But on the East, it's been kind of what it's been all season long, where you've seen a lot of struggling teams or teams maybe that have the talent but have lost some games that look at you sideways. Like you guys, there's no way the Bucks should be 47-30 right now. Like you were at one point, what were they, 30-13 under Adrian Griffin, and since you've hired Doc, I think they're under 500. So it's been tough, but I just think that's what it's been. The West has been so dominant all season long, and as we go to this like kind of home stretch the last 2 weeks, they're starting to pick it up because they know the playoffs are right here, and you do have a couple of these younger teams in the East that, or even veteran teams that don't really have that same sense of urgency.
I could say I misspoke. For the Clippers, I mean, the fact that you've won 5 of your last 6, they are playing with a sense of urgency. Beating Denver, going out there, losing to Sacramento, which kind of stings, but Philly and Orlando back-to-back, those are 2 solid wins, although it wasn't the cleanest of performances. You're winning these tough games, and now you were kind of falling in the standings, but now you kind of solidified yourself at number 4, so I'll respect them too.
I'm more sort of talking about the standpoint of just like watching as a fan. Not because these teams should all have a sense of urgency. They're in it.
You don't feel like a playoff atmosphere for these games?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's been a few lately.
I watch the Lakers, and I feel like every time we go out there, we're really trying to beat their ass. That's the only reason I say that.
You don't think the Warriors, Dallas, both games, playoff atmosphere felt like?
That Dallas Kings matchup, the second go-round, that's another one I would say.
Those did, but last night I watched the Suns and the Timberwolves, and I thought that was a flat game.
I didn't watch that.
But
I saw
also,
it
that's
like
2 teams struggling.
I didn't throw that on.
Now, Phoenix is fake been on a heater lately.
Yeah, for sure.
They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Timberwolves now. Yeah, it just really didn't feel like a playoff game, playoff atmosphere. Like there was a lot on the line. Mm-hmm. But all these games, clearly there's a lot on the line because one game can decide the seeding in such a large way.
No, the West is insane.
We got a chance to do something magical, man.
Yeah, I say that because
Play
I
you guys
don't.
soon.
Who?
Lakers.
What's magical?
Who's you guys, I'm
Warriors.
saying? Do we play to close the season?
April 9th.
Oh, shit, you're right.
We got to win.
We do. Well, I don't know if we have to.
We're up 2-1.
I say that because I don't know.
But you guys aren't catching us.
I don't know what else.
We have Jazz twice.
Bro, they're really 0-11. They're on an 11-game losing streak.
We have the Blazers next, too.
Generational tank job.
Chance to do something special is what I'm saying.
So you got 4 of your last, 5 or 6
have
games are the
Jazz,
Blazers and Jazz?
Jazz, Lakers, Blazers, Pels at home, and then Jazz.
Oh, Blazers just once.
Yes.
We do play.
Okay.
Correct.
But 3 out of the last 5 or 6. That's
You should win you should win 3 of those.
We should win 4 out of the 5. There's no way. If we don't win 4 out of the 5, it looks a little
Why
tough.
4?
beat one.
Because I don't think we should lose to the Lakers and Pels. Yeah. We should win
You
one of
can
those.
lose to both.
No, yeah, I'm saying. That's what I said. We should, though. We should win one of those 2 games.
In LA,
Pels at home.
Pels and Chase.
in Chase?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, you're playing against us in in
I
crypto.
think we beat you guys already in crypto.
I feel like the last time we played, though, we played in Chase.
It was, but we beat you guys before
Well,
that.
I know we were in LA, and that was the game that went into double OT.
No, because remember, that was in Golden State. Steph had 40? We lost that game.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that was in Golden
Apologize. That was in Golden
So we
State.
definitely beat you guys at home when you guys were at home.
I'm looking now.
I don't know what else the NBA has to do to make people deeply care about the regular season on a casual level.
I mean, I feel like I've been enjoying the regular season arguably as much as I have ever had.
You're not a casual watcher, though.
Fair enough.
Like, you have to watch it.
I do. It is my job. Correct. Man, have we played a game in LA?
Yeah, we had to. Play 3 games already.
I can't find this middle one.
You just look up Warriors versus Lakers. This guy is terrible at looking.
I really am such a boomer when it comes to looking things
I
up.
found it in a heartbeat, bro. We just
playing
played
basketball.
at Lakers. March 16th. But that was the LeBron didn't play that game, I don't think.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense now.
Do
Actually,
you use Google?
No, I'm on ESPN. Yeah, you're right.
The first two
this
games was in Golden
correct.
State.
Correct.
Like
I,
Bing or something?
I couldn't find this one. Got it. The one
he could have
it was
just went on
sandwiched.
Stat News.
I didn't Google. I was just looking at our game log.
Or Warriors Lakers history?
Land of basketball.
Warriors last 5 games versus Lakers.
Again, I was just on their game log for ESPN.
So what's your
Should
first?
just like Control F maybe.
I know. I was.
What do you do when you look shit
What's your
up?
first step? Like, what do you go to
Immediately, I open a new tab. I type in what I need. That's it.
first? Okay.
But this one really, it was just I had the Lakers schedule open. I was just hoping that I could find it, and I couldn't.
so you
How to use
search.
the
So you
internet.
search first for the Lakers schedule. That's what you search for.
I kind of just had it up just to look at the last
Okay.
5 games. So then when we
You're
were
on your
talking
body.
about the war, no, it's okay.
Okay,
I understand.
word.
No,
Word,
the
word.
allegations are fair. They're more than fair. But here I was just looking at the game log already, so I was just like, all right, I see 1, I see 2. I can't find this game in LA. But then of course I ended up finding it when he told me that it was in March.
When you said that you typed in into a new tab, what you needed, what did you type in that circumstance?
No. I just kind of was just going off NBA standings and then just clicking the team, looking at the schedule. I was very in-house looking things up right now.
I'm very specific when I look things up, like as specific as I can.
No,
be.
which you normally should.
Yeah.
It's a good question, man.
Is that what you do, Dehls?
Yep.
Very specific.
Very specific.
What have you done if Riv asked you to search up for?
I would have done
The
history because
game.
Land of Basketball just gives you each game.
It does, right?
Yeah, it's
no,
elite.
yeah,
It's
it is
elite.
easy.
You know
So
what you're
season
doing.
series, yes. How many win streaks in a row?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Shout
No,
out to
see, I
Land of
usually
Basketball.
do use it. I'm just saying, I was just in-house this go round. I
He tried
knew
a
Riv had
different
me.
way. He tried a different route.
I did. I thought that I could be efficient, and I wasn't. My eyes failed me.
This week in the NFL, NBA, there are 2 things I want to talk about, both pertaining to the NFL. First one is a little bit of a guessing game. The 1,000-yard mark for wide receivers is the gold standard
It
for
is.
did you have an excellent season or did you not? All of these wide receivers I have listed here, they have never had 1,000 yards receiving in a season. Bless you, Drew.
Thank you.
What wide receivers will crack over 1,000 receiving yards next season for the first time? First name up, Jerry Jeudy.
No, he'll have under 1,000.
I'm gonna say he'll have a impactful 800. So no.
800 would be a great season for him. Mari Cooper's still the one, and Njoku broke out. I mean, he's like 27, but had his best year last year, and you still have Elijah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going no as well.
Was it 2 years ago or last year?
Well, Njoku, this was his best season this past year.
Really?
I think so.
The breakout?
This past year, he was insane with Flacco down the stretch.
This was Njoku's best season.
Yeah.
Pardon
It
me.
was. Tank Dell.
No. Too many mouths to feed.
3,000-yard receivers?
See, I'm gonna say yes. We heard.
Is he guaranteed to play week 1 100%? I don't know.
From what the comments were telling us, yes. He's
He
healthy.
did.
He's
Broke
playing.
his leg, right?
He did.
Yes, he did.
I think he should be fine for week 1. Oh, fuck do I know. I would say under 1,000, though. You have Stephon, you have Nico there.
Drake London.
Yes.
Drake London, yes.
Yes.
He gets 1,000.
Most definitely.
Zay Flowers.
Yes.
I'm going to go yes also.
Mark Andrews still
okay.
number
I'll
one
say
option
yes.
there.
I'll
I'm
say
gonna
yes.
go
That's
yes.
tough, though.
Zay is great. I think he should get 1,000.
Because they lost Odell. They didn't really replace him unless I'm forgetting somebody. They didn't have brought anyone big in free agency. You saw, we haven't talked about it. Josh Reynolds dipped.
Yeah,
that was
he's a Denver
huge. We have
Bronco
not
now.
talked about that.
He's a Denver Bronco now. I
yeah.
thought that was so funny seeing him sign with us of all teams. I was just like, I won't say no, but get him out of Detroit. That's a W.
You know, because of that, there might have been a new role that opened up in Detroit. Jamison Williams.
I don't know.
I'm going under 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets 1,000.
He can probably get to that 7-8. And if he has that 7-8, I'm all in on season 4. I'm going to say no.
Trying to, well, yeah, you didn't go, Riff.
I'm sorry. I was writing these names down because I have some fun stuff to do. What was the person?
Jameson Williams.
Over 1,000? No, bro. 1,000 is just like to go from what you want, like what was it, like 200-300 or something like, just to straight to 1,000. You still got Amara who's gonna get force fed. Nah. And then they got Sam Laporta. I know what I'm doing.
These next couple of players I'm going to name all play on teams that don't have a locked-in number one option. The Bills, Dalton Kincaid, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir. Do any of them crack 1,000?
Curtis Samuel can.
Curtis Samuel, if he stays healthy, he has a chance to get 1,000 for sure.
I love Shakir, man. I really do.
I think Curtis has the best chance. Kincaid, though,
Kincaid's a dude.
Kincaid's a beast.
I'm gonna say I don't know who is it gonna be, but I'm gonna say one of them has 1,000.
I think it's between Kincaid and Samuel.
I think didn't Shakir
I
have
agree.
like ending
I
in
can see those
670?
Kincaid most definitely has a shot. You don't get drafted in the first round and don't get that opportunity. And when he played this season, was pretty damn productive.
His season was so weird, though,
It was
because he had
weird.
that middle of the season. I'm just looking at weeks 7 through 9, where 75, 65, 80 yards. Even week 10 and 11, 50, 46. Then he goes like 5 straight weeks of 38, 21, 0, 7. Finishes the year with 80+, and in the playoffs has 2 decent games, too. I think Kincaid get 1,000.
The Packers with Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Ontavian Wicks, and Christian Watson.
If Christian
I'm gonna
Watson,
go Watson, the guy. to get
I don't think
1,000.
Watson gets 1,000.
I say if he stays healthy, he has a shot at it. I'm gonna go Jaden Reed gets over 1,000. I won't disrespect Dontavian Wicks. He has a shot at it, but if I had to go one of the 3, I'll go Jaden Reed.
I think they might have 2, man.
They most definitely can have 2.
They can
I
also
think
have like 4 or 5 guys.
If Watson
like
is
6,
healthy,
7
I'm gonna go. He has one of those like 50, 60 catches, like 1,000 yards.
Because,
He just straight
bro,
big play,
low
big
key,
play, big play.
the ascension of Jordan Love was at the same time we finally started to see Christian Watson get right. And then, of course, he goes and gets injured. That was a pretty terrible timing.
I disagree.
But then, of course, Jordan stayed in the Flames. Then you had Jaden really emerge. And then Dontavian Wicks towards the end of the season. Or just kind of throughout the entirety, just doing him and just being clean as a receiver. But really, we started to see, at the same time where Jordan was really finding his stride, that's also when Christian Watson started to find his stride too.
I think Watson was a non-factor when Jordan Love went on his breakout run.
Well, he was hurt, correct.
Yeah,
But that
Even
Kansas
when-
City and Detroit game, Christian Watson had his 2 best games.
Dallas was his best game, and Christian Watson was non-existent.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then
That was no, but I'm saying when Jordan finally started to really figure it out last season, it was at the same time where he had that game versus Kansas City. Christian had a good game. Had that game versus Detroit. Christian had a good game. He gets injured in that Detroit game. But then Jordan just stayed hot rest of the season. That's all I was saying.
yeah, but I don't think they correlate though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but I'm just saying when Jordan figured it out, Christian was one of the beneficiaries.
Because in all the weeks after that, I mean, versus the Bears, Christian Watson didn't do nothing. Versus the Vikings, he didn't do nothing.
No. Oh, I solely mean in the sense where Jordan was really starting to figure things out. We saw Christian play well also. It wasn't because of Christian, no.
I thought you meant it in a way that it correlated more so, but you're just talking about it was a
Just
coincidence.
correct. Where Jordan finally starts playing some solid, consistent football. Christian Watson was a great receiver. He was a great option for them. Gets injured, but then Jordan stayed in the Flames.
I think it's between Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks. I think it's between one of those two.
Cool. I just think he has too much injury history for me to feel confident in Christian. I still think he's good talent, though.
I would have Jaden as the most likely out
For
of the
sure.
3.
Jaden could really get it.
He's OD.
He can
Dobbs
break out in a
just
big
cooked
way.
here. We didn't really show any love to Dobbs.
It's no slight. I just think
He's just
Dobbs is the
solid.
4th best receiver on this team.
It depends. I feel like it just sucks, man. I mean, not that it sucks, but it's so interchangeable. That's what it is. Every
Each
year,
week-
This is
each
a
week
great
you don't know
problem.
what it's gonna be.
This
It
is a great problem.
Yeah. Like Romeo Dobbs is like, yeah, in talent, he's number 4, but it's like there are weeks he's 1.
Fair.
There are weeks he's 2.
That's
like,
fair.
yeah, that's why it's hard.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
go
he-
with Wicks and Reed.
I feel like Jordan had the most trust all season long with Romeo.
Yeah.
But then as he started to feel more comfortable in himself, started to just spot all over the field. And that's why I feel like now we can acknowledge talent-wise, he may be the 4th best.
Trey McBride.
He could get 1,000 yards.
Pulling heartstrings,
He
man.
could get 1,000
He can, but who's that wide receiver? Are they going wide receiver at 4? Are they even going to use that pick at 4? If
Tell
the
them
answer
getting
is
a
no,
full K1 healthy year.
yeah.
They should.
I'll say
From
yes.
weeks, so Trey McBride really took over week 8.
Fantasy
He was
reaction
playing-
legend right here.
He was playing like at most 58% of snaps before week 8. From week 8 on, he was around 80, 90. He would have his game in the 100% snap percentage. He was averaging 66.5 yards per game. So that's, we do 66.5
Times 17.
times 17. We're looking at 1,130 in terms of total yards, 1,100 yards. I think not a lot of people were paying attention to him unless fantasy football, where if you have a tight end, he was one of the best pickups because the Cardinals were just terrible last year for majority of the season. But with him, if Kyler's healthy, he get 1,000 yards.
Trey McBride can do it. It does depend on who they draft, though.
Mm-hmm.
But even if they draft a stud, I mean, McBride could get close to it to the point that I feel comfortable banking on him. These next two, Wan'Dale Robinson.
No.
Nah.
Wandell is one of the
Jalen Hyatt
more.
guy.
That's fine. Wandale is actually one of the more underrated wide
He
receivers.
is. I was disrespectful, but
Yeah.
That was so bad.
I don't think he's good enough to overcome what this Giant situation is going to be next year.
I don't think it's going to be as bad.
I don't think it's going to be good. I think there's a strong chance they take a receiver at 6 as well.
Correct.
Wandale last season, I mean,
He had 525.
525 for a year 2 guy. I'm not the biggest Wandale fan
Neither
in the
am I.
world. And
He did
you
miss
have
2
Daniel
games
Jones.
too. I'm going to say with the fact that this offensive line is bolstered up, with the fact that they are going to probably go wide receiver at pick 6, I'm still saying no. I still think he could probably be in that. I think a really solid season would be 7-8.
I agree.
But I don't think 1,000 is going to happen.
Rashid Shaheed.
No. He needs. It's tough with Shaheed because shout out to John, big Shaheed guy.
He called it.
He has these huge, big plays that you see explosiveness and you see him be able to beat defenders one-on-one. But that's really all he does. Like, he has a couple of those a game, and where he has those big breakout touchdown games,
all
just
you
not
need is a few.
utilized
Few
enough
out of a game.
to get 1,000. How many targets do we think Shaheed had last year?
I'm going to guess 44. That might be low.
44?
78.
Yeah, that might be better.
I
44
thought you were going
seems
to say
low.
receptions.
Targets.
I think he had 700 last year.
did have
I'll go
78
78 targets.
All right, I'm going to go higher to 64, 62.
I'll go in the 60s range too.
75.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
But 75,
good guess.
46 receptions,
Yeah, that seems right.
719
That seems
yards,
right.
15 yards a catch.
We were all
His
on
rookie
track.
year, he was at 17 yards a catch.
How many yards? How many yards he had on the season?
719 last year.
Listen,
I need
All
him
you-
to change
all you
his
need is
number.
about 60
22,
more, like-
not rocking with it.
Michael
running
Thomas
back.
isn't there anymore.
Correct. I mean, was he even there last year?
He was. I mean, he
He
got
was.
some
Chris Olave
targets.
is there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
How many targets did
Brother, all you
did
need is
Thomas
2,
get
3
last
big
year?
catches and you're good. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gabe Davis, almost at 1,000 just doing that.
Deshaun Jackson built a career out of doing some shit like that, you know?
Thomas got 64 targets in 13 games. No, 10 games. I apologize.
Milkman.
Man, is 1,000 possible? It might be.
Low key.
I would go yes for Shaheed. There's a chance.
Okay.
There's a
If he
chance.
changed his number to like 84, I'd be locked in.
Last name, JSN.
No.
I don't think so. Tyler Lockett re-signs. You still have DK
That
there.
shit was a punch to the stomach.
I'm going no. Maybe I should go yes.
He has a chance.
I'm going to go yes.
He's talented as fuck.
Might have
I don't
some
think
fun.
1,000 happens.
Did you finish up your
I did, actually. I
your
did.
game?
Yes. So this week in the NFL, I have a fun new game that we're going to play every week until I get bored. So we're going to blindly rank these top receivers in the league. I have 6 names. Joel told us earlier that between 11 and 26, there's not that big of a gap. So let's find out. First name up, I'm going to go Nico Collins.
So we're blindly
One
ranked
through
1
6.
through 6.
Yes.
Let's put him
He's 4.
perfect. I was thinking 3.
I was thinking 3 as well.
I was thinking 3, but
I'm not going to speak this time also.
okay. There are a lot of good names. I do think Nico is talented.
We do have 6, not 5. Okay,
Yes.
that maybe
Correct.
changes
That's
things.
why I'm
Okay.
thinking 4 as well.
The 4's fine. 4's fine.
All right.
Next name up, Jalen Waddle.
He's 5.
Okay. How about 6? Do we sleep on 6?
It could be 6 or 5.
I'm
Either
cool
or.
with 5.
Okay.
I don't think I'd put him 6. I think Waddle's still.
This is
really
not a
good.
slight to Waddle. I just feel like we're going to get some decent names.
We might.
I think we'll have.
And
at
Nico
least one
at
person
4 is
worse
already
than-
he's kind of limiting us.
I can justify Waddle at 5 though.
I can.
I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine.
So 5, you're 5?
Yeah.
All right, I'll concede.
Keenan Allen.
Am I nuts to say 2?
I think a little nuts to say 2.
I
would
think
say
he's
3. I would say 3.
Okay. All right.
But you could make an argument for 6.
It's not insane. He's closer to 6 than 2 for me.
Yes.
With all due respect to Keenan
Well,
Allen.
it's so-
With all due respect to Keenan Allen.
He just had his best season.
Would you not rather have Jalen Waddle on your offense?
Would
as a
you
number
rather
one
means
than-
nothing.
What
as
do you
a
mean?
blind
I'd rather have Waddle and
ranking.
Nico
No, what do you
going
mean?
forward.
No,
than Keenan
what
Allen.
we're doing right now is blind ranking them as they
That
are
is 2
right
different
now.
games that we play.
Yes.
To be fair.
And Jalen
Which-
Waddle was an 1,000-yard receiver, being a second option,
And he was hurt.
to Tyreek Hill.
I understand, but
He's one of
Keenan
the most
Allen was
explosive
also
receivers.
hurt, and he also had an unbelievable season.
so let me ask you
You're
something.
putting Keenan at 3 guys?
Yeah, I think.
If you're an offense
6 would be a
coordinator,
little crazy.
So 3 Keenan, 4 Nico, 5 Waddle.
Yeah.
let me ask you:
Got
if you're an offense coordinator and next year you have to game plan for 1 year, so we're not taking into account future. Do you want to game plan with Waddle being your best receiver or Keenan Allen?
If you want to be a speed merchant, which is fine, and Waddle has a lot more to his game than just speed.
Wow.
Jeez,
Has a lot
that's
more to
your
his game than
guy.
just speed.
Speed merchant is Jameson Williams. with all due respect.
But locked hands locked route running, Keenan Allen.
He's good.
I think Waddle has like almost all that too.
But Waddle
With
has
the
really
speed.
good hands.
Waddle-
He has a really good route runner, and the speed
would you
makes up
take,
for it.
Dehls?
I would rather have Waddle.
Who
That's
would you
why.
take, Riff?
You guys are being disrespectful
But I
towards
think-
Keenan
That's not even no
Allen.
slouch to Keenan.
So
Waddle's
it's
nice.
the same way that you went to bat for a Mike Evans is the same way that I have gone to bat
This was
for Keenan Allen.
before the show. We had a Mike Evans debate.
But the thing is that like Keenan, it's no disrespect.
All you've done is disrespect him.
Keenan is elite in the short areas of the field. He does not stretch the field out vertically. Waddle really puts stress on your defense.
Of course.
In a
And
different
he could
way.
beat you in the intermediate route. He could beat you in the short game too, just like Keenan can.
And that's the difference between Mike Evans and Keenan Allen. Mike Evans can stretch out the field vertically. He's one of the
Talking a lot
best
about stretching.
deep threats.
How many games did Keenan miss last year? He missed 4 and had 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
He had almost as many yards as Mike Evans last year.
He was the only
Was
option.
he number one in? He was number one in targets. In targets per game, he might have been number
No,
one.
he had 108 receptions in 13 games.
Waddle had 1,014 in 14 games with 104 targets. How many targets did Keenan have last year?
Bunch. Here, I can look. I have his page
Keenan
open
would,
right now.
being a route guy, would probably get more. I'm assuming.
He had 150.
Keenan Allen was number one in targets per game at 11.5. Tyreek Hill was number 2 at 10.7. It's a pretty big gap.
It's like he's getting, he's a great receiver, but he's getting force fed in that
Again,
system.
he did have to.
Like if Jalen Waddle was in that situation where
213.
where
is
you're
crazy.
going to him all the time.
Oh,
He
that's
did have
facts, 'cause
20
he did break
targets
the
in
record
week
for
3.
it.
That was insane.
That
He
was.
week 10 through 12, 14, 16, 16.
You have 20 targets, but can you tell me how many catches he had of those 20 targets?
I don't have the numbers, but he
Okay.
had an insane game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he had 18.
Was that
for
the
20.
Detroit game?
Against the Packers, he was insane.
That might have been. I don't think it was.
He
the
dropped a
Packers
touchdown,
game.
though. He dropped a touchdown that
He did.
cost them.
No, that was bad.
Yeah.
But he was having a really good game.
You guys are ready for the
But
next?
yeah,
I am.
okay.
Yes.
But yeah,
So Keenan 3.
Keenan is
3.
3. Keenan is
Okay.
3.
So just to rattle up, right now you have Keenan at 3, Nico at 4, Waddle at 5.
That's fine.
Okay, DK Metcalf.
He's
6.
He's
Correct.
cool with that.
Well done, guys.
Shout out to DK. Oh, God. We only have 1 and 2 left now.
You do have 2 left, and I'll be honest. The
We
next
fucked this
name,
up.
Terry McLaurin.
Yep, we
Oh
fucked
my
up.
goodness. He's 2. That's
Two.
the best he could
Oh,
be,
we
right?
screwed that up.
And then the last name is Devonta Smith.
1. I'm fine having Smitty
Sure.
at 1. But
So-
yeah, Terry at 2, we screwed up bad.
Hey, this is insane.
We fucked up with Nico at 4. We
And you know
fucked
what's
up with
crazy?
Keenan at
Everyone's
Riv
going to
gave
be
us
like,
no
Terry
elite
should be
name,
number
though.
1
Hit-
overall.
Yo, shock the shit out of me. No elite name.
Riv usually
Well,
like,
no, he did say 11 through 25 guys.
He heard me say
Yeah,
that.
he did say that.
He did. No. But there's still elite guys in that 11.
yeah, I didn't know that he was just gonna solely.
I think Nico,
not named
Waddle,
top
I think
5
those
guys,
are
though.
closer to like 11 than 20.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
That's
You
why
guys
I
fucked
was.
yourselves up putting Nico at 4.
Yeah,
We did, undoubtedly.
But I will say that the statement that you started with earlier, I still agree with.
What?
I don't think there's a huge gap between Devonta Smith and Nico Collins.
Well, I didn't say a top 10 guy.
No.
I did
No.
not say a top. I did say 11 through 26. If it's that close, we're gonna throw out some names. And
Like,
this is your final list. You had now you're fine. This was your rough draft.
Number
The
2.
start list. You had 1 Smitty, 2 Scary Terry is his nickname, 3 Keenan Allen, 4 Nico Collins, 5 Jalen Waddle, and 6 DK. Which DK was the one you guys were comfortably cool with putting him at 6.
Well, number 1 is
You want to shuffle
Nico
that.
Collins.
number 1 is Nico or Keenan. Based off this list,
Correct.
I think Nico's better.
I'm fine with that. 2
but
Keenan.
I'll respect Keenan. I'll put him at 1 here.
Okay, cool.
Number 1 is Keenan. Number
Shock
2
me.
is Nico. Number 3 is Waddle. Number 4 is Devontae Smith.
I'll
Okay.
I'll put Smitty at 3.
That
but
is-
I ain't-
that
I ain't
is
mad at
close.
it.
3 and 4 is close.
That's a conversation. I'm here for Waddle over Smitty though.
Number 5 is
Eagles got
McLaurin.
it.
Number 6 is DK for me. I
cool.
think DK would still be number 6. He could be higher though.
I think that was the one you guys were very clear. No matter what, DK is
he wasn't
6.
1 and 2.
I just feel like DK disappears sometimes.
He does.
So I'm gonna throw you out some weird names throughout the
Now
week.
you fried.
So be
you fried
prepared.
because our
you know?
blind
That was a good
rankings
list.
are going to continue.
I
to be
also
us.
have a blind ranking.
Hey.
I needed some redemption.
Okay.
That shit just pissed me off actually.
So let's blind rank these 5 running backs.
Why do you think I waited for Terry last?
You cooked.
Yeah.
He's really good though.
First name,
I know they don't like him. You know.
Jameer Gibbs.
Can you say that back though? Sorry.
Blindly rank these 5 running backs.
He's 2.
Jameer Gibbs.
2.
I don't think I have a problem. I'm
You have
thinking
just 1 through 5, right?
2 or 3. 2 or 3.
That was just
It
1
is
through
the
5.
first
1 through 5.
name. Can we do 3? Give us some time.
He's number 2.
I think he's at 2 at this
He's
point.
amazing. We can get some names.
We're outvoting you.
I agreed, but I'm trying to
We're
still
here
plead
too?
my case. I'm trying to plead my case.
We'll go 3.
He's trusting me off me and my professional blind ranking
After
skills.
what y'all just did.
Well, he can still name Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Fine.
He can still name Christian McCaffrey.
King Henry.
I don't think he's going to name them. I don't
He
think he's going to name
could,
all
though.
3 of them.
He
I don't
can.
think he's going to name all 3
He just named Jameer, who we understand is a dog. Let's go.
All right, go ahead.
Derrick Henry.
This is what I'm saying. Can we put him at 2? Are you cool with 2?
Derrick Henry's number 2.
Okay.
2.
Can I get an apology so far?
Wait.
Okay.
I'm trying to think which name I want to say next.
No, he didn't even have a list. So now
No, I do.
he
I
has
just,
a list of
no, I
names,
have
he
the
just
5,
doesn't
but
have them
I
in
don't want to
order.
do it in like specific order. You know what I mean? Bijan Robinson.
4.
I'm fine with this.
He's 4.
I think so too.
He could be
I think
3
Jameer.
and 4 is interchangeable.
You could argue Jameer was better. I'm fine with this.
Brees Hall.
We're fucked.
I
Brees is
don't
1.
think the next name is going to be
I'm not
crazy.
mad at this.
5.
I'm not mad. No. Brees can be 1. Brees can be 1.
You just
closer
said
to 1 than
CMC
5.
might be popping up. This is what I
What if he
told you.
doesn't, though?
But King
But
Henry's
I
better.
said that.
So what did you want? Derrick Henry's better.
CMC is better than Derrick Henry.
So what should we have done at 4? Put Bijan at 5?
But now we're going to have to put Brees. We might have to put, because if we put Brees at 1 now, he says CMC, we're fucked.
If he says CMC, we are fucked.
What if he
We look
says
crazy,
What
bro.
if he says like Austin Eckler?
Then we're golden.
Okay.
I really doubt Dehls is going to say
the
Austin
odds of
Eckler.
him saying the most elite running back
No.
versus a
He's
plethora
not saying.
of
I don't think he's saying someone mid.
He's not
okay,
saying
tier
somebody
ones.
missed.
I think it's going to be someone that's good, like really good.
Well, listen, I think Brees Hall hasn't had a 1,000-yard rushing season yet.
Last year he was unbelievable to close.
Brees Hall could be 5 because at this point, would you take Brees Hall or Bijan?
Brees.
It's close.
Brees or Bijan?
I
I'm
would
super
take
close.
Brees.
I think
Super
Gibbs
close.
is better than Brees.
Yo, his speed's fucking insane.
Brees or Jameer?
Am
I
I
would put
crazy
Gibbs-
to say Brees? Am I
No, you're not crazy to say Brees,
Okay.
but Bijan nor Gibbs have the injury history of Brees Hall.
He tore his
And it
ACL. He's fine.
He came back and was a dog.
No, I mean he was, and I understand our offensive
First play from
situation wasn't
scrimmage,
great.
pro
So what
rated
is it?
for
Brees
40.
at 1 is what we're saying?
But
He had an
Bijan-
80-yard
Bijan-
run that game. too.
Bijan and Jameer just had a better season than Brees has had to start his career.
Jameer's OD.
Brees was amazing this year. Am I
He
tweaking?
was fantastic.
Not as good as Gibbs or Bijan.
Situation. Be nice to
It
have.
does
Gibbs
matter.
is nice,
Be nice
bro.
to not have the worst.
We could put
offensive
Brees
lines
at 1.
that
Let's put Brees at 1.
Y'all was
and see
just
the next
calling
name.
Bijan Robinson a generational running back.
He
But
is.
that has nothing to do with anything. In year 1 to be
Last year, you would have taken Brees over Bijan.
No.
No, I
you
would've
wouldn't
taken-
have. You would have taken Bijan to start.
I don't know about that. I've been always high on
Yeah,
Brees.
Coming off the ACL, though, I think
Yes,
it would be
yeah,
to
fair,
say
fair.
Bijan.
But I've
You would've took-
always
But you would have took
liked
Bijan
Brees.
first. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brees, when we did the fantasy reaction, was my dark horse to finish RB1.
Was Bijan not
Was he not one of your dark
a
horses
more
too, though?
talented player than
Bijan?
Brees?
Bijan for sure, he was.
As a prospect, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Bijan.
yeah.
Just
Oh
what
my
they are
God,
now
no-
too.
no
Yeah.
doubt.
We're
Bijan's
putting
one
him
of
at
the best
1.
prospects.
But then
since
again, we just
Saquon.
acknowledged that Jameer, you could argue, was better than Bijan last season. So we're going. If I'm listening, I'm open to it. Brees at 5. That's what you want
Let's
to
put him
do.
at 1 and let's hear the 5. Good.
Last name.
Okay, all right. I would rather have Brees at 1 than fuck up in
Fine.
half.
Okay.
Last name. Jonathan Taylor.
You're.
I'm not an idiot.
That's why
I'm
I
not.
wanted Brees at 5.
No,
JT's 1.
He has
We
more
already
of an
fucked up
argument
by putting
for
Derrick
one.
Henry too.
What do you mean?
Derrick Henry probably should be 1.
No, Derrick Henry at 2 is fine.
Then JT at 1.
No, Derrick Henry's 1. If it's against JT,
No. If
Derrick
we read
Henry's 1.
2, yeah, agreed. JT closed the season last year pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
He was
I
dealing
don't.
with some injuries.
I'm gonna
throughout the
say
year,
I
too.
don't love JT at 5. I don't think that it's the worst thing in the world.
So
Well, JT
what
has
list do
had-
you guys have?
So we had
I
number
was-
1 Brees, 2 Derrick, number 3
Gibbs.
Jameer, 4 Bijan, 5 JT. It's not the worst list in the world.
It's not the worst. These are all great running backs.
Number 1 is Derrick Henry.
Agreed.
Number 2,
JT at 5.
if I'm going talent like pound for pound, number 1 is Derrick Henry. Number 2 is Bijan. Number 3 is Brees. Number 4 is Gibbs, and then number 5 is Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think we're fine. I think we made a good list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we messed up like in the 5 and 1 spots.
Maybe, yeah, if anything, just because we didn't know if we were going to get CMC, we put him at 2.
Taylor is just 2 years removed from 1,800.
Agreed.
It's been a while.
JT's amazing still, though. I still think he's a great running back. We saw what he did against the Texans. He killed them. I still think he's a great running back, but
too.
Brees Hall, his upside, he's shown last season with
JT's not
a
old,
pretty
though, right?
mid offensive line and no quarterback.
You guys are comfortably Derrick Henry number 1 out of these 5.
I wouldn't say comfortably.
Well,
I think he
has-
gets the respect level. If you
he
give Tay
has-
the respect level,
he's
I
going
think
to
you
be
should give Derrick Henry the
amazing in
respect level.
Baltimore.
I think so too.
He has the best resume. You could say he's taking a step back, but his step back is
his
still
resume, yeah.
a great running back. And the offensive line in Tennessee was the worst run blocking offensive line in the NFL. So now that he's going to
Who
Baltimore
you
with
putting number one,
Lamar,
Dehls?
I think you could still
JT?
say he's number one.
I wouldn't put JT.
Okay, I know you love JT. That's the
I
only
do.
reason I asked.
You putting Brees at 1, aren't you?
I don't think I'd have Derrick Henry 1. I think you can make the argument for all those young running backs, Brees, Gibbs, and Bijan over Derrick
Because of
Henry.
age or ability?
Can I get some credit? Can I get some credit for this blind ranking, please?
He was all right.
Just give me some acknowledgement in terms of the thought process here.
Derrick Henry had 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns.
Oh yeah, no, he was
Last
still good.
2 seasons
He was still
with
good.
terrible
Just not
offense.
efficient. Just not efficient. He's just gonna get his workload because he's Derrick Henry. Give me some credit, please.
He was all right.
Thank you. Take that because that's him saying he was. I was like, all right, Drew, you cooked. That's all I need.
What's your this week in the NFL NBA, Drew?
So mine has to do with players that remain available. I feel like that's a huge thing when it comes into this season. We have the new rules put in place that you have to play a minimum of 65 games to be eligible for these awards. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to ask you guys to name me all 20 guys, the top 20 guys in most games played. If you guys can give me names that are in the top 20 for most games played, because it's weird. It goes from like tied for, there's one guy by himself, number 2, and then 18 names tied for third place.
Yeah.
You guys just have to give me 10 of the 20 players that have played the most games this season.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, basketball.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. This is
He
basketball.
didn't make that. You know.
Anthony Edwards is not on the list.
Jason Tatum.
Mikal Bridges.
Okay, calm down. Jason Tatum.
Let's do one,
is,
like-
yes,
no, yes.
is not on the list. Who'd you say?
Bridges. Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges is on this list, tied for number 3 at 77 games.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson
Dehls, I got a name. Are you ready?
is not on the list.
Kevon Looney.
Kevon Looney is not on the list.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is not on the list.
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey is not on the list.
This is most games played this season.
We got a mix
I
of stars
will
and role
tell
players.
you this. There's one player that has played 79. Second place has played 78. 3 to 20 is all 77 games.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen is not on this list.
Domantas Sabonis.
Sabonis is on this list, tied for third, 77 games.
Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray is not here.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green is tied for third, 77 games.
Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith is not here.
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley is not here.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen is not here.
Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso is not here.
Paulo Banchero.
Paulo Banchero is not here.
Wagner.
He is not here.
DeJounte.
Is not here.
Denny Advia.
Is not here. He missed some time with a knee injury.
Jordan Poole.
He's just off this list. 21.
Damn.
He has played 76 games.
Michael Porter.
He is not here.
Did we say Luca already?
He's not here. He missed a good amount of games.
CJ McCollum.
He is not here.
Herb Jones.
He is not here. But keep cooking.
Derek White.
He is not here.
Trey Murphy.
He's not here.
Jose Alvarado.
He's not here. This one might. I don't. You're thinking too many. Keep going. I'm sorry. I fucked you up.
We have role players and stars on this list.
For sure.
Who have
The
we said
stars.
so far?
The
Sorry.
stars. I'll be honest. You already said Sabonis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Jalen Green a star, but you
Yeah.
said Jalen Green and you said Mikal Bridges. Again, I wouldn't call him a
Star,
star.
I guess starters rather than
Oh, they're starters.
okay. All these guys.
Not all of them, but there are some starters.
Austin Reeves.
He's number 3 as well. Correct. 77
We haven't got
games.
number 1 yet.
No. Or 2.
Jonas.
Valanciunas,
yes.
he is here. Tied for third. Correct.
All right, guys, let's cook. Let's cook.
Damn.
Scoot Henderson.
He is not here.
Victor.
He is not here. You're
Devin Vassell.
He's not here.
Trey Jones.
Not here. I apologize.
I'm
fucked
going
me.
Spurs
He-
players.
Forget about the Spurs.
He fucked me.
I don't
Buddy
want to.
Hield.
Number 1. There we go. 79 games played. I needed number 1, and low-key, I need number 2 as well. This one is challenging.
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton's not here.
Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton is tied for third, 77.
Nice.
Cook.
I think you guys have named 10.
No,
but
we want number 2 though.
I agree. I don't want to stop this until you guys get number 2.
Starter.
East or West?
He has started some games. It is in the East.
Started some games in the East.
Isaac Okoro.
No. Fuck. Do you want some hints? I feel like he was a starter, was replaced
In the East.
in the East.
Was a starter and was replaced.
I will say this is
Playoff team?
yes.
If he was replaced, I mean, what teams made trades?
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart is not here.
Dante.
DiVincenzo is not here.
Grant Williams.
He's not here.
East. Well, I guess he's in the East
He's
now.
in
Yeah,
East,
facts.
yeah.
He was replaced.
Somebody on the Heat.
Nope.
Kelly Oubre.
Nope.
Wait, no, he
Max
got into a
Strus?
car accident.
It's not Max Strus. A
He's-
teammate of
he's
Max
missing-
Strus is on this list.
He's missed some time.
A teammate of
Jared
Max
Allen.
Strus?
Nope.
Levert.
Dean Wade.
Nope.
It's not them.
Sam Merrill.
Nope.
It's not D Wade.
It's not.
Fuck is it?
The hint I will give you is a dead giveaway.
Oh,
You said Isaac Okoro, right?
Yeah, I've said that already.
If I were to give you a hint, it's dead giveaway.
Not Garland.
Here's the hint.
It's not Mobley.
Look at me.
Oh, George Niang.
Bang.
Really? He's played that many games?
Yeah, 77.
Hate that.
I will give you guys 2 more guesses to get number 2, and then we'll move on because you guys are giving me a good amount of names.
TJ McConnell.
Not TJ McConnell. On that same team.
Aaron Smith.
Was a starter, was replaced.
Nemhard.
No.
No.
Jalen Smith.
No.
No. Who the?
Let me make sure I'm not
Not
tripping.
Tyrese, not
Aaron
Buddy.
Nesmith?
Don't
We
look
said
at my
Nesmith.
screen. Don't look at my screen.
Nemhard,
That's
not
everybody.
TJ. Who else in their fucking
Isaiah
rotation?
Jackson?
No.
He can't be on the Pacers.
Well, he just said he's on the Pacers, so.
And that must
Okay,
be Buddy Hield.
I'm right. Nope.
No, we said Buddy already. He was number.
He was number 1. I'm right. I'm glad I'm right.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Andrew Nemhard.
It's not Tyrese.
It's not TJ.
Aaron Nesmith.
Yeah. Not Miles Turner.
Ben Shepard.
Miles Turner, right?
No.
TJ McConnell.
You named everyone except the player that got traded
Jarris
to the
Walker?
team.
No.
And Obi Toppin.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin at 78 games played. You
Shout out
guys
to
made that
Obi.
excruciating. But we got it nevertheless. Number 1, Buddy Hield, 79 games played. Number 2, Obi Toppin, 78. And then 18 players tied for 77 games. I don't want to read all of them, truthfully. But you guys said Sabonis. You guys got Jalen Green, Jonas Valanciunas, Mikal Bridges, Georges Niang, Colin Sexton. The 2 that you guys didn't say that were on here that were teammates, Cason Wallace, Chet Holmgren. And you got Austin Reeves.
Where's Derek White? I feel like he's missed like 3 games this year.
Let's see. Control F. Hello. Control F. White.
He missed like 1 game for his baby. Or he's been sitting the last couple.
Facts.
because
He's not in the top 50.
He sat the last over his last
Josh
couple
Hart
weeks.
is tied for 21st though, which would be 4th most games played, 76. Dante DiVincenzo's also at 76.
Shout out to Josh.
I make you guys think for these, and I apologize.
The NBA ones are so tough.
It
because
just
there's
sucks
so many
when you
players.
have to pull in so many role players.
Yeah.
No, this one was definitely one of the more difficult ones.
There's really no outside unless looking like top points, rebound, assists. No matter what in the NBA, you're gonna be pulling the role players
Listen,
like field goal percentage.
at least you got
games
number 1.
played, Facts.
You got number 1.
The defensive tackle market in the NFL has surged over the last 10 years. So this is a tweet from Bill Barnwell. In 2014, the top 10 edge rushers made 44% more than the top 10 defensive tackles. 14 edge rushers were making $10 million plus, but only 4 defensive tackles. Now, the top 10 edge rushers make 6% more than the top 10 defensive tackles. 14 edge rushers make 20 plus mil, and 10 defensive tackles do as well. So I think this speaks to the evolution that's going on in the NFL game right now.
Absolutely.
And how defenses are playing lighter than ever. It's important to have a defensive tackle because you need an elite player there so you can have more defensive backs on the field and you can turn base personnel into nickel personnel, because when you go from base to nickel, you are getting lighter on the field. So you need one of these elite tier guys to anchor a strong run defense.
Most definitely.
And that's why this trend has been happening. And, you know, guys like Chris Jones, Wilkins, Matabuke, Quinnen, Derek Brown, Simmons, Payne, Lawrence, Williams, Hargrave have all gotten paid big-time contracts. And we just seen in the Super Bowl recently that the team that has the best defense tackle in the NFL, Chris Jones, I mean, he anchors their defense. And the reason why they're able to have so many defensive backs is because of how elite he is. And that trend all started with Aaron Donald's impact on the league.
Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. It started with Aaron Donald, his ability to be an elite run stopper, but also be an elite pass rusher. You have that versatility at the defensive tackle position. There's a reason they're being as highly valued as they are in today's current NFL. And the fact that we're seeing such a uptick from Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams, Dexter Lawrence. I mean, we're talking about some of the best defensive players in the league, and it's because of their versatility and how they are able to play at such a high level, not just stopping the run, but also, of course, getting to the quarterback, which is what ultimately matters the most.
Got so many elite guys, and I remember I was looking for the tweet, but I couldn't find it. Almost all of these top defensive tackles are also taking like the top 15 picks. Like Quinnen Williams, number 3 overall. Yep. Derek Brown was a top 10 pick. Jeffrey Simmons, he's older, of course, but first-round pick. Deron Payne, who's getting paid $22.5 million. You do have a couple outliers. You know, Chris Jones wasn't a first-round pick. Christian Wilkins, was he first? He was. He's 13 overall.
He was in the first.
So when you're looking at these like top defensive tackles, and we're going to talk about it when we do our mock draft on we're going to do mock draft on Monday. There's really only probably 2. You probably have Murphy and Newton as locked first-round defensive tackles in this draft, and they're going to get pushed down the board because there's just so much talent at quarterback, at wide receiver, at offensive tackle that you're going to be having a playoff team in the 20s. For example, the Rams who are trying to replace Aaron Donald, where you're going to be able to draft one of these defensive tackles who are going to come in and immediately be one of the best players on your defensive line. And it feels like they've also kind of kept up to the talent at edge as well. Like we've talked year after year, like it's always a debate. Who's the best? You got Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, just all of these dudes. But now the defensive tackles, who they've been good for years too, but now they're starting to get the recognition. Chris Jones, I think you might have even said last year, was like the best defensive player in the NFL in your opinion. Dexter Lawrence has been fantastic. If you look at his win rates compared to some of the top edges, he's right up there, and he's by far the best in terms of defensive tackles. Of course, Quinnen Williams. So it's a combination of the dudes that have been getting taken in the top 15. We've seen a lot of hits, and when those guys hits, they end up being some of the best of their position, as well as kind of the talent gap between them and the edge are thinning out.
You know, like you used to say, quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher is the most important positions on a football team. But now quarterback still one, but that second spot could very well be a defensive tackle.
It could say wide receiver,
because
corner.
We've seen
the guys I'd probably say top 4.
Yeah, I think corner is starting to become less valued.
Really?
Only because I think building a front 4, a front 7 is what matters more to a team. If you can have elite players in the secondary, if you're not getting any pressure, you can't be in coverage all day, and they'll get picked apart.
Importance and difficulty, 2 different things.
Like,
I agree with you.
I look at the Texans right now. The Texans are going to have a top defense. Their secondary is Stingley, and then outside of that, it's Okudah, a project, Henderson, a project. They brought back Desmond King, who's been like average, and their safety play is average as well. They're just giving themselves a high floor because they know they're going to be able to rush the passer regardless.
I'm with you.
So, but I definitely think wide receiver could be there because we saw Joe Burrow go to the Super Bowl with an offensive line that was non-existent. You know, that could speak to Burrow. It could also speak to, well, if you have great receivers, then you don't have to block for a very long time. So it's just changing. And outside of quarterback, that's the only position that stayed the same in terms of value. But every other position is rising up in value, and it's an interchangeable list now.
Oh, yeah. Listen, we're going to watch this NFL draft, and we're going to see 3, depending on how desperate a team is, 4 potential wide receivers / tight ends be drafted to a team. We've seen how much the rise in wide receiver has gone up. It's not the same defensive class, but like you mentioned, Newton is probably going to be one of those players that are taken, and he's going to be an impact player. You do look at that interior defensive line as one of the main pieces to a defense.
top 7 picks could all be
Offense?
some sort of quarterback, wide receiver, tackle. Like in top 10, you're probably looking at maybe 9 of 10. Atlanta might be the one who takes defense, and even still, they could take a wide receiver.
A position of value we're going to talk about right now. We're going to rank them as the wide receiver position.
Let's do it.
We're going to do a top 10 wide receiver ranking.
Are we collabing or this is our own personal ones?
We can collab. I think that'd be nice, a nice thing to do. I will say that the top 10, for the most part, outside of the last 2 spots, were pretty easy for me.
The guys, not the ranking.
The guys. There are a lot of great wide receivers in the NFL.
The most talent we've seen at the wide receiver position ever.
25 to 30 receivers are like guys that can be the first option on teams. I wrote down a bunch of names that I knew weren't going to make the top 10, but I just wanted to kind of gauge it. There are 15 players after the top 10 that I'm like, the gap between them isn't really that large. And there are some guys that I might have missed. But the top 10, number 1 or number 2 is Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson. I don't know what way you guys would organize it.
After the 2023 season, I still have Reek 1. I have Jet 2, but that's 1A, 1B.
I agree.
I had Jet as at 1 because every time he plays, he's been better than Tyreek over the last 2 years, even when he was healthy. So I have Jet as at 1. Reek at 2.
I did have Jet as at 1, but I'm not going to sit here and nitpick.
Yeah, number 1, number 2, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson. This third spot gets tricky. So round table, give your third spot. Riv, who's your third spot?
CD. I have CD at number 3. We're here. We walked into this type of discussion.
I think CD is stamped top 5. I don't have him 3. I don't have him 5. My 3 would be Jamar Chase. Understanding coupling talent, and then on top of it, what did you do for me this 2023 season? He still had over 1,200 yards, still had over 100 receptions, the most he's had in his career. And also this was paired with not having Joe Burrow for a good portion of that season as well. You could say that Jake Browning was primarily looking his way. That's a fair statement to say. But at the same time, Jamar Chase, talent-wise, to me, is still a better wide receiver than a CD Lamb, and that's no slight to CD. He's just going to still see a majority of the looks on his offense because there's such a huge gap in production, or I should say in talent, when it comes to the weapons that they do have in Dallas, where you go from a Jamar Chase to, it's a gap from him and T. Higgins, true, but T. Higgins still will go to other teams and be their team's wide receiver 1. You can't say the same thing for Dallas. And I'm not taking anything away from CD. I do have him 4th on my list, but purely talent, I'm going with Jamar Chase, and I feel like I say that confidently.
I have Chase and CD 3 and 4. I think you can make the argument maybe, I think, for CD over Chase because the year he just had was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
He did average about 2 more targets per game over the season than Jamar Chase did, but I would still have Jamar at number 3. I think the explosiveness he has CD beat. Contested catchability, they're both really good, but Jamar Chase, in my opinion, might be the best in the league at that. Route running, Jamar is still one of the best route runners, one of the crispest route runners in the league too. They're 3 and 4. At the end of next season, if CeeDee Lamb's able to put up another 1,600 plus yard season, you could really make the argument. But I think at the end of this season, I would still have Chase 1 spot ahead.
At the 5th spot, I think it's got to be A.J. Brown.
I have A.J. Brown at 5.
That's 5. My 5 as well.
I had Chase at 4, AJ Brown at 5.
I thought about A.J. Brown, CD 4, 5. That's close to me too.
I
3,
think
4,
5.
5. I think is close. Chase, CD, and AJ.
I respected CD over AJ because CD was able to sustain it the entirety of last season, where it kind of fell.
AJ fell off.
He did, but
he went on a stretch where he was 125 plus yards. He was going crazy.
Nah, he was insane. But AJ definitely deserves to be top 5 floor.
The top 5 is where I think there now is a line drawn between this tier and then the next tier.
Respect Amon-Ra.
Number 6, Amon-Ra is not A.J. Brown or CeeDee Lamb or Jamar or Justin Jefferson.
He's not.
I don't know. 1,500 yards. Respect
he's
him.
Not.
Third most in the
With all
league.
due respect, he's not.
Third most in the league.
Number 6, I'm going with
number 1 in yards. Tua was number 1 in yards.
And he's a top 10 quarterback.
But he's not the top 5.
Oh, he's not number 1.
Yeah.
Wait, he's not top 10.
I didn't have him top 10.
Tua's not top 10 quarterback. I didn't like how you just let him
didn't
say
have
it
him
and you
at top
didn't
10.
give a rebuttal. I didn't like that.
Well, because we were talking
10.
about top 5 here.
Oh, well, he's not even top 10, so just wanted you to.
That's what I was just saying that yards
You're
or
a
leading
flip-flopper, by
yards
the way.
doesn't exactly mean you're one of the best.
The real no. Go ahead.
So this is the tier gap to me. At spot number 6, I'm going with Brandon Ayuk. I think Ayuk is the next guy off the board.
I have Ayuk at 6.
I don't hate it. I respect Brandon Ayuk's game. Unbelievable separator, unbelievable route runner. I just go, let's match it with talent and production. And in production-wise, Amon-Ra was more productive than Ayuk. You could say efficiency-wise, Ayuk was more efficient. That makes perfect sense. He got way less targets and was still able to put up 1,300 yards. He was fantastic in his own right. I still would just go Amon-Ra for the consistency that he showed all season long as a route runner, hands. I mean, you can have you can have Amon-Ra in top 5 conversations in those 2 regards alone. But again, match it with production. I'll go 6 Amon-Ra and 7. My list is a little bit different, but I can hear if we're going to collab. I'm fine with the Amon Ayuk back-to-back here.
I have Ayuk 6 and Amon-Ra 7. I think Ayuk's a better receiver than Amon-Ra.
And if I'm going to get outclassed here, I can concede, but I would personally still have him on over.
I think that's the next 2. I think Ayuk is a far better route runner than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, he's winning on the outside consistently so much more. And the production, Amon-Ra was more productive with the yards, but Brandon Ayuk's playing with 3 All-Pros in George Kittle, Debo, and CMC. And I understand the offensive attention draws more defenders in the box for them.
For sure.
But Ayuk is matching up with number 1 corners all the time. It's not kind of like where Debo Samuel, they're using him all over the field. They're getting him mismatches. Ayuk is almost always lined up with the team's opposing best corner, and he's constantly getting open. I think he's number 6. Off of last year, he was just so elite, and the tier of him and really only Tyreek Hill as route runners. I think he's number 6, and he's probably going to stay with the 49ers to get traded. Who knows? I think if he goes to another situation and he's able to command a ton of targets, I think we're going to see a huge breakout. He had 104 targets, I believe, and 1,300 yards. We just don't see that.
Did you have Amon-Ra at 7?
I had Amon-Ra at 7. He was the next guy up for me.
Rib, did you have Amon-Ra at 7?
Amon-Ra at 7.
Okay.
Ayuk at 6.
Oh, yeah. So who was your 7?
My 7, I respected Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Just in terms of
on my list,
if we were just doing a top 10 wide receivers, which I kind of tried to do a combination of both top 10 and off of what you did last season, I'm respecting Tay. I still feel like he is a lock top 10. I do have Devontae at 7, but again, I'm fine with Ayuk at 7 as well. I'm fine with Ayuk even at 6. Honestly, he's that great of a talent. And I mean, I have no animosity towards Ayuk. He is unbelievable at what he does.
I have Tay at 8.
I don't have Tay at 8.
I'm fine with Tay at 8 also.
You have DJ Moore over him. Ready to do it.
That's 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
That's 6, 7, 8. I know Joel has a difference in opinions on Devontae Adams. That's okay with me. But that's 6, 7, 8. However you want to order it, I feel like it has to be Amon, Brandon Ayuk, and Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's my 6, 7, 8.
I'm going to get outvoted here. I get it.
DJ Moore's
11.
Is fine.
He's 11. Respectfully 11.
I don't have him in my top 10 either. However, you can make an argument for DJ over some guys.
He had a great year.
Devontae had a phenomenal year. You can make an argument for him in the top 10. I just think Mike Evans had an even better year. And that's why Mike Evans, for me, was at 8. The Buccaneers were not projected to make the playoffs. People wrote off Baker Mayfield's career. Mike Evans had a streak of 1,000 yards on the line that people thought maybe paired with Baker, he wouldn't get it. And he did all of that. And he was graded as one of the best receivers in the league. So for me, 2 of my remaining 3 spots is going to Mike Evans and Puka Nacua. I think Puka Nacua is a top 10 receiver. After having the most historic rookie season.
I have Puka at 9.
He's on this list.
I had DJ at 8, Puka at 9, Tay at 10. I just think
this is fire.
The year DJ just had, type of explosiveness he does have. He's not the best route runner out the bunch, but what he can do after the catch, how strong and physical he is in contested catch, and then the year he just had, with the situation, I don't know. I feel like DJ. I'm gonna give DJ some love in here. So I had him at 8.
DJ at 8. Okay, fair enough.
For me at 10, that's where the DJ Moore comes into play. It's between DJ and Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins.
You don't feel like DJ had a better year than Mike?
Do you have Tay in your top 10?
Mike Evans?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think he does.
I thought Mike Evans had a better
You don't have Tay in your top 10.
He's in the 10 spot is interchangeable with whoever. It could be DJ Moore, Stephon, Devontae, Nico, Keenan, Garrett Wilson.
Hey, where is Garrett?
I think those are the next guys up on this list.
I got Puka at 9, Garrett Wilson at 10. DJ Moore, close consideration. Keenan Allen, I think in that mix.
Why are you putting GW over DJ?
Damn, no Mike Evans.
No Mike Evans. Another honorable mention.
Why did GW get the nod over DJ?
Over DJ?
Based off last year, yes.
I think he's a better receiver.
And did it with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think if we could get Garrett, what DJ put up last season?
1,300.
13.
I
Close to
legitimately think
1,400.
if Garrett Wilson had competent quarterback play, not that, listen, DJ Moore dealt with Justin Fields. He dealt with, Who was the other backup
Badgett.
they
Tyson
had?
Badgett.
Tyler Badgett. Thank you. He didn't have the best quarterback play either. But I think at this point in his career, you could kind of see the trajectory of Garrett Wilson. I think you can make the argument he's better right now, and next season with Aaron Rodgers, God willing, stays healthy.
I think with Caleb though, DJ
also too.
For DJ, I feel like he's reaching a different part of his career because he's never had a quarterback before. Like he's had okay.
This is where he
ones.
put shit on the map.
Garrett Wilson would kill for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, but this is where now he's like, all right, the numbers are gonna start
He might
kicking
kill for
in.
Sam Darnold.
Who? DJ Moore?
No, Garrett Wilson.
Oh, I understand.
I mean, there were a lot of wide receivers in that 1,100 range that dealt with quarterbacks that weren't that good. Like Michael Pittman Jr., he dealt with Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Pittman should be an honorable mention too. He's really good.
Yeah, like he's very underrated to me. Pittman dealt with
Stephon Diggs,
a situation that wasn't the best. D-Hop dealt with a quarterback situation that wasn't the best. Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper even. Like I know Joe Flacco came out of nowhere, but it's still Joe Flacco. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't deal with the best situation. So really, when you talk about these receivers and DJ Moore, Devontae, Amari Cooper, Garrett, McLaurin, Pittman, D-Hop, all of them dealt with quarterback play that was below average.
Damn, yo, why is Stephon Diggs on his Antonio Brown shit? Solely on the field. 4 seasons in a row of over 100 receptions and 1,000 yards. Jeez, bro.
So you didn't have Mike in your 10?
No, honorable mention.
I have Mike
DJ's where 11 for you?
11.
All right, we'll talk.
Tom 11.
We'll talk at the end of next year. We'll talk.
Stephon Diggs, I feel like we're disrespectful.
But when I said it in the car, you called me crazy.
I'm sorry. I just had to take a look back.
You don't have Diggs in your 10?
I don't have
didn't.
10.
And he called me crazy in the car when I asked
He's
him.
top 15.
I told you I was considering him at 10. But then Mike Evans,
But then I told you, did I not tell you in the car, if you look at before last year, if you think he's not the same, then I understand.
He's not the same.
Going into
He's not
last
the
year,
same.
he was locked top 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
Like, that's what I told you. You called me crazy in the car.
I didn't say you were crazy. I said
Verbatim,
that at
you said I'm
10.
crazy.
There's too many great receivers to put someone who has questions in my top 10.
That's fair.
Correct.
Like, I don't have any questions about these top 10 dudes. Stephon Diggs, I still think he's top 15 without a doubt, but I have questions. Is he still the elite of the elite?
I mean, yeah, but Stephon Diggs and Amari, that's like a toss-up right now.
I think Diggs is better.
Damn, it's crazy that he really has 5 of the last 6 seasons, 100 and 1,000.
All right, Joel, I'm stat watching, but
Garrett Wilson is a younger version of Stephon, who's better after the catch.
talk. I'm stat watching, but how did Mike Evans have a better year than DJ Moore?
I feel like he was more
I think they're
consistent.
close.
He was more
DJ
consistent
Moore
all
did
year.
have a couple of huge
I
blow-up
wouldn't say
games.
you're stat watching. You're not stat watching with that
Well,
one.
I am right now because I just
No,
don't
I
remember off the
understand.
top of my head.
No,
DJ Moore-
Mike was OD efficient.
They both had the
come
same
red
amount of
zone.
targets.
Yeah, the thing is with me is that DJ Moore had blow-up games that I'm not gonna like. They gave him the final total, but like against Washington, he almost had 300 receiving
No,
yards.
he killed. But did he have inconsistent games because of him or was it quarterback?
I feel like
Maxi.
because a little bit of both.
I think
You know,
okay.
a little bit of both. I do think more so the quarterback. I think Justin Fields could have targeted him much more.
Fields missed 3 games, correct?
With Fields, DJ Moore averaged 80 yards per game. With Tyson Badgett, it was like 60.
Yeah.
So it was like a 20-yard discrepancy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just
Oh, no, he missed more than that.
Mike Evans all year long, he was consistent.
Mm-hmm.
With DJ Moore, it was, he had a blow-up game. Then for the next couple of games,
Was he? Mike Evans had 66, 171, then 60, then 40, then 49, then 82, then 39, then 87, then 143, then 43, then 70, then 162, then 8, 57, 86, 70. So was he really that consistent? Like that much more consistent?
he was probably around, he was at the same mark like all year long. Like you mentioned 3 games to me out of the 17.
3.
You know what? We can't hear like,
Nah, that was like
60
6, 7
yards and above is a good game.
That's a good
But
game.
he had a
for me.
40 game, a 49 game, a 39 game, a 43 game, an 8-yard game, 57 game, and a 22-yard game.
Kind of cooking.
That's 7 out of 7.
How many of those games did he have a touchdown?
Yeah, a ton of touchdowns.
He had 13 last season.
So the 40 games, no, he did not score. The 39 game, he did.
Okay.
That was against Buffalo, though. That's good defense. 43-yard, he did. So a few of them, he had a touchdown.
Okay. Like DJ when Justin Fields got hurt, obviously wasn't the same. Down the stretch, I mean, against Detroit, 68 and a touchdown. He against Cleveland, which obviously was one of the better defense, had 52.
Yeah, I'm looking at DJ's right now.
Against Arizona, this is the shocking one. He only had 18 yards on 6 targets, 3 catches, but then bounced back against Atlanta, 159 and a touchdown. So I feel like you look at DJ Moore, he was pretty damn consistent all season long when he had at least
when Fields went
pass.
out. He
Exactly. And even still, 51, 54, 55, 44 against New Orleans, 58, and then right back on track when he came back versus Detroit. Yeah. You can make the argument that DJ was.
No, he didn't say you couldn't. He didn't say you couldn't. He didn't say you couldn't.
Oh yeah, it's pretty back and forth. To
no,
me.
DJ Moore definitely. I'm fine. If you have him at 8, there you have a good argument.
I don't think it's crazy. You have him over. Do you have Puka in your top 10?
Yeah, Adam and 9.
Okay.
Adam and 9.
You can make the argument for DJ Moore over Puka. I won't personally.
With all due respect to Puka,
Here comes disrespect.
the system.
Here comes with the Sean McVay.
I just would like to see it again.
Out of the players in the top 10, he's the one that played in a system that a lot of receivers that would love to play.
Then this
Cooper Kupp merchant.
And then this is no. He's calling him a McVay merchant.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp
I would love to be a McVay.
But then also I could throw the same thing right back at him with the Shanahan merchant.
But they run their offense differently.
Could you say Tyreek Hill is
Absolutely not.
McDaniel merchant?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
Absolutely
that brother
not.
gets the ball 30 times.
And he also did it with
What about
Andy
Waddle?
Reid. No, because he broke
He was
the rookie
better
record.
with McDaniel, though.
Who?
He was
Tyreek.
better.
Oh no, absolutely.
Waddle was
So Andy
better
Reid,
than
McDaniel clears Andy Reid.
Maybe.
For Tyreek, maybe.
for Tyreek himself, sure.
Back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons with McDaniel.
You know who else had 1,700 this year?
CD.
What do you mean by the Shanahan tax?
I'm a
though?
wide receiver group.
I just mean he's an
You are?
amazing offensive
You got to
coordinator.
give me your top 5 for
Just
this,
an elite play
this
caller.
draft.
I got you. I don't miss. Who have I missed on?
Like, obviously, Brandon Ayuk's an amazing talent. I'm not knocking him. I'm not
It's only
knocking
Jalen Reagor,
Puka
top 10.
Nacua. Like, I think their talent alone speaks for itself. I don't think you're like, yeah, it plays a hand.
Receivers don't usually eat on Shanahan's system.
Debo was electric.
That's
though.
not the beneficiary. That was the first time it happened.
But Kittle had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Kyle Shanahan, since he went to the 49ers, he's had what? Maybe 2 1,000-yard receivers.
Are we counting Kittle?
That's another one, a tight end. But I said wide receivers don't usually eat.
I understand,
had
but
the
like,
talent.
it's like
1,000.
I know Kittle's not a tight end. I'm not a receiver, but like you get over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, but the way you are
Something's
used
catered to you.
is differently. Like Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp had the best receiving season in history with him.
Mm-hmm.
You get Matthew Stafford, so you have a better quarterback throwing you the ball as well.
It's Sean McVay tax, but I also can't take away from Sean McVay being like, I want to get the ball to the best player on my team. Like
No.
I can't sit and be like, how dare Puka Nacua have an historic season, you know?
For sure. And doing it in year one.
Yeah.
Like doing this volume, this statistics in year one.
He's not the most talented. Like I don't think he's the best route runner in the league. He's definitely not the most explosive. He doesn't have the best straight line speed, but he's basically great at everything. There's really no, in my opinion, deficiency
hole.
with Puka. He's got great hands. He is a really crisp route runner.
Maybe it could be a little faster.
He's faster than you
little-
think,
yeah,
though.
could be.
He has had plays this past season where he is running away from defenders.
The thing with Puka Nacua is that he was drafted into
Perfect system.
a situation where his skill set mirrored Cooper Kupp's. And he was able to slot in perfectly to what they asked of Cooper Kupp.
So Puka is just
So
the Brock
Cooper
Purdy
took
of the
the
wide
step back.
receivers.
Nothing
Puka is
wrong
the
with that.
Brock Purdy of the wide receivers.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Here we go.
Please,
I don't
thank
think
you.
he is.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I think Puka's elite.
Yes.
But I also think that like there's so many receivers that could be put into
I don't disagree.
their system, and I think they can have tremendous
So
growth
I think
here.
Puka go a
would you
lot
put
of
up-
places
so
and have
you would
12
put Mike
plus
Evans
yards.
over Puka, correct?
Yes.
Do you think Mike Evans can be in Puka's situation right now and eat just like how he did?
Yes. Like he'll be in the slot much more. Puka was in the slot 31% of the time. But like, do I think DJ Moore can do
So
something
he's playing
similar?
on the outside 69% of the times?
Yeah. That's a good number.
That is
but
good.
The top receivers kind of play on the outside like 70% of the time or more.
I mean, so he's 1% off.
No, 80% of the time.
Okay,
or
I was
more.
gonna say-
yeah.
I'm going to look it up. I'm interested to see how much CeeDee Lamb was on the outside.
He was probably around the same percentage as Puka. I think he was in a slot like 30% of the time.
I feel like as we go through
I feel
these
like
years,
Zeke
these
was in the
receivers-
slot a
You
lot.
see the
Yeah.
goats go into the slot. It's not a bad thing.
I feel like
you
this year
should.
City was in a slot a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's silly if you have your best receiver, you're just an X, you're always on the outside no matter what. No, let's
Ridiculous.
move you around. Let's get you matched up with that nickel corner. Let's get you matched up with that linebacker. Why would we put ourselves at a disadvantage?
But that's the thing. I think that's a smart way to go about it because
Yeah.
you want to put your players in the best position. But when ranking receivers, it matters how
like Tyreek was
everybody
only outside
utilized.
60% this past season.
Exactly. Like I think when ranking receivers, it matters how they're utilized. That's why I'm a little higher on Waddle because Waddle was the decoy in the Dolphins offense.
Which is dumb.
They
that was
used
dumb
him,
of them.
but it wasn't because they used him as a decoy to free up Tyreek.
I get that, but in the long term of things, it's not like Jalen
CD
Waddle
was
is
in the slot 54% of snaps.
I believe that. I believe that. Like he's too good to be a decoy per se. You know, like he still had his, but you should still draw up plays for Waddle specifically. Tyreek's better, but it's not like Waddle's not an X of his own right.
Honestly,
I don't
the
think
top
that's
10
a bad thing though.
Sorry, the top 10 in terms of who was lined out wide the most are basically all just not really dudes. You have Quentin Johnson was number 1, Michael Gallup, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Hyatt, Odell, Alec Pierce, Terry McLaurin, Romeo Doubs, DK, Devontae Parker. The first like elitish guy is Tay, which I'm surprised he was at 82% out wide. I would love for him to be in the slot some more. Nico Collins was at 80%. You got DJ Moore at 78%. Brandon Ayuk, Jamar, AJ Brown, all around 76%. So I think
Like minimum of a 100 snap like filter.
I have a minimum. I've you had to get at least 40 targets. It looks like
7% difference between Ayuk and Puka in terms of outside to end slot.
But that's like for
That's not
me.
terrible.
Jettis was at
I don't-
70%.
I don't think decoy is a bad word because
Slot my brother up.
Garrett was at 69.
when the 49ers do play action, CMC is technically the decoy, for that. So I don't think it's bad. They just lined up Waddle out there to free up Tyreek Hill, and I think that's perfectly fine. But there's so many wide receivers that it's not at a fault to Puka. It is just how often these receivers lists can change, that if you have Devontae in Puka's situation, or Nico, or Amari, or Garrett Wilson, or Olave, or even Waddle, they can get similar production. And it's not a knock to Puka because he did it, but it's just there are so many great receivers in the NFL that if you put them in the right position to succeed, they can be viewed as upper echelon receivers.
So crazy because CD ain't even bigger than Steph Curry.
Height-wise?
Yeah,
Yo,
height
bro,
or weight-wise.
you got to understand, football players, height-wise,
crazy.
are not that tall.
Yo, this
outside of
player,
offensive line,
this player profile thing. CD's
quarterbacks.
comparable players, Jerry Rice.
Shout out to player
So I
profile.
want y'all to know that.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is Brandon Ayuk's game comparable to Devontae Adams?
Yes.
I think that's what comes to mind in terms of comp. Like, I don't know if he'll ever be Devontae per se, like at Devontae's peak.
He might be
but
better after the catch.
I think Ayuk's game is comparable
that's
to
not
Jamar Chase's.
insane.
Jamar Chase has more explosiveness.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
they're
say
similar.
Straight line speed, I probably have Chase.
Like if we're talking about sheer talent, like freaks, CeeDee Lamb might be behind AJ and Ayuk just off of like physical tools.
Yeah. DK's
Physical
a freak.
tools.
Yeah.
He's like that guy, but because
DK's 1-on-1.
Who?
As like a freak,
DK?
DK?
AJ Brown is
Him too.
low key.
Yeah,
They went to the
built
same college, right?
Yeah,
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
You know who else went there? Jet Legend.
Yep.
He's on your team now.
Lock in.
One of your teams. Jet Legend.
Your ex team.
Your ex team.
that was a better way to put it.
Fuck, no, I'm blanking.
Elijah Moore. Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
when
wow, okay.
when Elijah Moore got drafted, there's a video, probably still on his Instagram, of AJ Brown like have his arm around him. He's crying, like he is crying tears, saying like what they don't know is you're better than me.
He lied.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He really lied.
They were best friends or something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah,
Thing
no.
is,
He was
Him
dead ass
crying about-
crying.
that's funny.
being
Yeah,
like,
he
bro,
lied.
you're better than me.
after the top 10, like my top 10, you have Diggs, Adams, Nico, Amari, Keenan, Garrett, Olave, Waddle, McLaurin, Pittman, DK, Devonta Smith, D-Hop, Godwin, Deontay Johnson.
Lord have mercy. Where's Cooper Cup?
Cooper Cup. I mean, you
think he
could
was
put him in
ranking
there.
this-
Yeah,
just
with all
guys
due
who-
respect,
those are
half
just
of those
names.
guys, there's no way it would be in my top 10. Like, there's no world Terry McLaurin says my top 10. Chris
No.
Godwin.
Had to start with
had
Terry.
to say it,
Had to start with Terry.
No, but I mean, I just start with Terry. I named like 8 names before him.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
why I
no,
said
no,
half
no,
of
no,
the
no,
team.
no,
Just say
him.
Dehls.
That's
Yeah.
why, like, he said Garrett. Yeah, of course. I mean, he is in my top 10, you know.
Yeah, we know.
Go.
But yeah, like there's so many receivers. Then you have the rookie class coming in, and
Marvin
they're
Harris.
like Rome, Odunze, Malik Neighbors, and Marvin Harrison can all get 3 of the top 20 spots after
You guys
their
remember
rookie
the
seasons.
game days wide receiver ranking that I sent y'all?
I don't know.
Marvin
if I
Harris
saw
was
that.
at like 7.
Oh, facts.
yeah.
They just
Early.
the top 10 receivers
Yeah,
in the
just-
NFL.
just
Marvin
smart.
Harrison 7.
Yeah, he was at 7.
You would take Cooper Cup right now over Zay Flowers?
Yes.
That's a funny question. If I'm getting a healthy Cooper Cup, yeah.
If I'm
He
getting
hasn't been
healthy,
healthy in 2 years.
I'll be honest. It was pretty evident down the stretch of last season too that he was on the field. He's not 100.
when he's on the field,
I'm taking Cooper Cup over Zay.
if I get 13 games of Cooper health, I'll take Cooper.
Yeah.
That 13 is going to be magical.
he's gonna be 100% healthy. Fuck
It's going to be 1,100 smooth.
George Pickens or Cooper Kupp right now.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Shout out to Pickens.
Pickens is very
Jalen Waddle or Cooper Kupp right now.
Jalen Waddle.
I would say Cooper Kupp still.
good. At 100%, I'm going Coop.
Drake London or Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. Because
Jake got his
Jalen-
That's close.
Yeah, it is.
close.
is this the year that Jake London puts himself in top 15?
He should.
Let's
Absolutely,
go.
Who's he kicking out?
Terry McLaurin.
He's in it?
I don't know. Fucking the internet says he's top 10.
Who has a better year right now? Make the hot take. Drake London or Stephon Diggs?
Because of...
I think Drake London.
Drake London's gonna.
Drake London
Stat-wise,
should.
pure raw numbers, I think Drake London should.
Yo, remember, we have a Smitty Terry bet.
Facts.
Ben Johnson wasn't the OC.
Huh?
That was the bet?
That was Ben. I thought it was if
That was
Drake May goes there.
stipulation.
I thought it was if Drake May goes there.
It was.
Yeah.
If Drake May does get drafted, I'm hype.
Okay, let's do it.
But if it's
about Jaden?
No, I don't like Jaden. I don't think Jaden's
He does
good.
not like Jada.
No, Jaden's not a first round.
I think he actually the other day called him a bum.
Michael Penix or Jane
I never
Daniels?
called him a bum.
Bum?
I trolled.
He's not a bum. Jaden Daniels, though, he's not a first round quarterback, like at all. Like the desperation for teams in drafting quarterbacks high has led to this quarterback inflation. But realistically, he's like a second. He's a day two guy. That's what he
is a little project-y for sure. He's got some things he has to work on, but the athletic ability
Projects
is
go
gonna
too?
is going to put him
I
in
guess
the top 5.
Zach Wilson.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance was a project.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won too.
He did go 40 touchdowns.
You're high on Jaden Daniels?
I don't know if I'm high per se, but I still think he's a first
I think he's a
rounder.
first round. Yeah, I think he's a first round guy. That's like top 3. It's tough to justify that.
Listen, if Penix can stay healthy, I like Penix.
I think
I really
Penix
do
will
like
go first
Penix.
round.
I'm age checking. How old is he?
Penix is 24, 25.
Yeah,
Jaden is 24 too.
24.
Yeah, they're
Not really my
older.
vibe.
Penix's issue is that he's had injuries
Two ACLs.
multiple years in a row.
I saw him play
This
like
past
twice
season,
in college. Rocket arm.
This past
He's
season was
nasty.
OD.
Rocket arm.
He's nasty.
Now,
Yeah,
Broncos
Dude's
Twitter
on
has
his
been
team, right?
clowning him.
What?
They just don't want him on our team.
He has a like weird kind of throwing motion.
He
but
does, but he's a lefty, so I'm
Yeah.
all in.
Thing with Michael Penix is that he has some flaws, but his pressure to sack ratio is insanely
It's
low.
the best in the league, best in this
Yeah.
draft.
He gets the ball out quick, but he's just inconsistent. His mechanics are inconsistent. Against Texas, he was elite. That was the only game where he flashed. If everything goes right, this is who you're gonna get. So
In
it's
the
just
biggest
on
game
a
of the year, thank God.
yeah,
Second biggest.
It's just on a team that is willing to take that chance that they can get that out of him.
I like Penix to the Raiders. I don't know if he goes that high. If he goes 13, I think there's a world he could go.
Mina
that high.
Kimes said the exact same thing.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Because I think he needs to go to a spot. He wouldn't be pressured to start right away because Gardner Minshew's there, and you have Aiden O'Connell, whatever he is, and you have weapons. You already have Jacoby. You already have Devontae Adams, of course. Michael Mayer had some flashes last year too. So if you put him in a system with guys around him, like I don't think you could put him. New England, for example, he's not going to go at 3, but like Jaden Daniels at 3, where here's this playmaker and he's athletic and he can make things happen behind the line of scrimmage. I think that's better than Penix, where he's going to sit in the pocket and he needs dudes to win on the outside.
I think Penix is better than Jaden.
Penix at 12. I'm not mad.
Denver.
Yes, because Payton has made it abundantly clear. I want a quarterback that can win in the pocket. Penix can do that.
You guys have an O
It's
line.
pretty tough for a rookie
We do
to
have
go
an O-line.
into
Did
Sean's
you see
system.
recently it got reported that that the Broncos O-line was only responsible for 14?
I did. Yeah, 14 of
14
45.
of the 40.
Yeah.
Bro, that's insane.
He won't hold on the ball
Russell
that long.
stinks, man. I'm glad he's gone. For you.
I'm starting to feel that way too.
End of oh god, end of an era.
Short era.
Man, the era where 3 interceptions was a good game.
I was happy with that game. It was the most
You really
confident he
are.
looked.
You really were excited about
I
that game.
was.
He took care of the ball too much. He actually wanted to let it rip.
You might have thrown more
He lost,
interceptions.
he lost and he played like shit, but at the same time, it was the most free game that he played as a Bronco.
Who made that interception that game? Stingley? It was some elite play. Like
I thought it was
went
the
from-
safety.
It was somebody. He was on this side. He
Oh,
ended up
that
on
was
this side.
Stingley. That one play he's
was-
talking
I was
about.
the one that we lost the game on.
I
He
think
threw it
that
to like
was-
a backup
yeah,
tight
it
end.
was.
No, not that one.
But did Russ really sling it though? Because he
I don't know. You tell us.
I would
he
say
missed
so.
he missed Judy Watt open in the end zone.
Oh no,
did,
for
yeah.
sure. For sure. No, he still had his idiot plays, but again, that's kind of his tenure in Denver, sadly.
It's just not good.
I'll just always hold on to him beating Kansas City.
That's what the Steelers are getting now.
Veep.
That's what the Steelers are getting.
That's why we're not
Get a
high
Russell
on
Wilson.
the Steelers.
They were telling us they're going to win 10 games.
Steelers fans are the fucking craziest that I've ever seen.
What was 6.5 over under? 7.5.
Cowboys fans, I feel like
7.5.
as time has gone on, I feel like their spirit's being taken from them, sadly.
But that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast, episode 370. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.